And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, the NFL offseason has officially begun. Welcome in, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, as we are coming to you from the ESPN 620 studios in Phoenix. As a very busy day in the National Football League, very fluid, lots of news coming in and out. And whenever we get something that is relative to what we're doing, we will we'll dive into that. We'll break into it like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into it that soon, guys, but already, right as we start the show, the Houston Texans are going to be trading their Pro Bowl offensive tackle, Laramie Tunsil, to the Washington Commanders for a package of picks.
Jeez.
Tunsil's really good.
What a busy morning it is.
Wish I was a free agent nowadays.
Yeah, I know. As we look at the Arizona Cardinals, it's just a little recap here as the Cardinals missed out on Milton Williams, who they were trying to get, but they did get the guy that's been rumored all week, and that being Josh Sweat, the pass rusher for the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, Milton Williams, a Philadelphia Eagle, a guy that's coming off an incredible Super Bowl, incredible season, 27 years old. He had 8 sacks this year, 15 quarterback hits, 9 tackles for a loss. He was on that top-ranked Eagles defense. He gets to reunite with Jonathan Gannon, of course, who's the head coach of the Cardinals, who was the defensive coordinator there in Philadelphia in 21 and 22, which was a stretch that Sweat had 18 and a half sacks. So a very good signing for the Arizona Cardinals. It's been rumored, at least reported, I should say, it's worth just over $76 million. $41 million of that is guaranteed. Manuch.
Much needed. Hallelujah. The Cardinals go out and sign a top-notch rush linebacker, comes off the edge, is a good run stopper. You got Baron Browning, who they re-signed over the weekend as well, too, who they got there from Denver. But I thought a really good end of the season for the Arizona Cardinals. You got a couple guys there. I feel now, if you can go get a top-notch defensive lineman, if you can, find somebody that's top-notch or second tier to help that defensive line, to help bolster that defensive line and put more pressure, put more push on that quarterback, along with Josh Sweat, and you got Browning coming off the edge, and the way that I think that, what Rawlis did as far as creating pressure with what Lilly had last year, and with knowing and Gannon knowing Josh Sweat, is a huge addition. I'm glad to see the Cardinals stepped up and made this thing happen.
My question to you then, Manuch, is do they need to get a real fat guy in the middle?
So I just said.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
I mean, but who would you say is what I'm asking? Who would you look at that is just off the top of your head that probably would work really well?
I would love to have seen a package deal with Milton Williams. That'd have been phenomenal, but they weren't going to go down that road. I'm not quite sure some of the top notch are out there. Anybody that is at least a 2-tier plus, one tier, if you can. I mean, you got the money. I mean, I think you go build with this defense. So if there's the remaining top notch, because Milton Williams like the 6th ranked free agent in the marketplace, let alone just top notch defensive lineman. And by the way, the Patriots are they making a run on their defense?
They are making a run.
Heads up, AFC East.
Yes.
But I think that you got to go get another guy to complement him with pushing the pile, pushing the pocket, so to speak.
Otherwise, he's just going to get double teamed.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it too. But you can run if you start to run on him, and Nick Rawls has to continue to roll guys in, which he did a good job of running guys in, 2 or 3 guys in to create the pass rush. Now, if you had one more guy to push the pocket, you don't have to roll those guys in or keep them fresh. But Sweat's a guy that's on the field the entire game.
Oh, yeah.
He can rush, he can run stop, he can cover. He's a 5-tool type linebacker and get things done.
All right, here's some other notables. We'll start with quarterback Justin Fields is going to the Jets. A 2-year, $40 million contract. $30 million of that is guaranteed. Sam Darnold is going to Seattle. They found their quarterback reportedly agreeing to a 3-year, $100.5 million contract that includes a $55 million guarantee. Some other quarterbacks that have made some moves or are going to stay. Jimmy Garoppolo re-signed with the Rams. He agreed to a 1-year, $11 million contract, which I thought is pretty hefty.
Well,
for him.
there's a lot of incentives built into that
Sure
to get him close to 20 to 25 if he starts.
You know, over the weekend, we saw Josh Allen reworked his contract with the Bills. The MVP deal is reportedly worth $330 million. $250 is guaranteed, the most guaranteed money in given in NFL history. The Broncos, they retained quarterback Jarrett Stidham. He signed a 2-year, $12 million contract over the weekend. So those are the quarterbacks. You've seen the Myles Garrett over the weekend. That thing was crazy. $123.5 million of that is guaranteed. $160 million total. Devontae Adams to the Rams. Harold Landry is with a Patriot, as Manuch, you mentioned about the Patriots making so many moves so far, but a lot of big signings. I can't remember a year like this. Oh, by the way, Hassan Reddick, a 1-year, $14 million contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs also re-signed Chris Goodwin. He is getting a 3-year, $66 million contract. $44 million is guaranteed there. I mean, the list goes on. A lot of offensive tackles, defensive tackles, safeties, a big run on defensive tackles that are moving or either staying.
Yeah, but isn't that the way you have to build now, Manuch? I mean, we saw what happened in the Super Bowl.
Hey, let me tell you what.
Okay.
The Eagles reestablished what you need.
Yes, they
Offensive line,
Yes.
defensive line, pass rush. Also, Rock, don't forget the DK Metcalf going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you look at all of a sudden Russell Wilson, who probably had a big part in getting him there, you got Jefferson, you got Pickens, you got the tight end. That kid's really good.
Freiermuth.
And exactly. So you've got finally a respectable passing game that they have. So you got that. And then Devontae Adams going to the Rams, Nakua, Cooper Kupp, Higbee. I mean, you see some of these teams on the offensive side with their quarterbacks or receivers, and then defensive side. But I agree with you, Rock. Probably the first day, big moves, pre-positioned by the weekend that made the move Saturday, Sunday cuts, signings, re-signings. And then here we are on the legal tampering day.
Yeah.
And then this could all be legal on Wednesday.
Do the Cardinals, in your estimation, chase Cooper Kupp? At least do they make the call?
I think that the Rams are feeling they want to keep him. Now, I don't know if they'll go after him as far as, that one guy that they have to have. He might be something down the road. But all indications are that they're looking to keep, that being the Rams, keep Cooper Kupp.
Really?
Absolutely.
After they got Devontae Adams?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
At this point, Jimmy, at this point. Now, this is just Monday, okay?
Yeah,
the 10th.
You're right.
Okay,
Yes,
it's it. Yeah, Monday the 10th. So by the official signing day of Wednesday, all things could happen.
So when you look at the Arizona Cardinals, the free agents they've re-signed or are returning, we talked about Baron Browning. He's got a 2-year deal. Joey Blunt, 2 years. Aaron Brewer last week, 1-year deal. Evan Brown today, a 2-year deal. And Calvin Beachum, his 14th year, a 1-year deal. Of course, we talked about Josh Sweat. He was the lone guy outside of the Cardinals organization so far. And I think the Browns signing the two offensive line. Beacham's your backup guy.
Yeah.
He can play either side at tackle. He can play guard. And then with Brown, he's your guy you want to keep for the future. He's that one guy. Will Hernandez, I don't know if they re-sign him because of his injuries and the things that he's had. But I look at this as the Cardinals. Yeah, get your offensive line, get that solidified. And then from here on out, it's going to be very interesting. I think they need to add another defensive piece. I really do. I think another defensive line piece to add to this team.
Hey, everybody. Headlines presented by Weekapaw Casino and Resort and the WKP Sports Book. By the way, make sure you get entered into the $100,000 bracket contest. It is now happening at winatweekapaw.com. Here's that site again. winatweekapaw.com. Get in. You have a chance to win $100K. And by the way, mark your calendars because you're going to join us. We know that you will for our big event at the WKP Sportsbook. It is free to attend. It is the Final Four. And you can enjoy $100 props, $100 squares. Don't miss our halftime contest where 25 lucky guests will roll the jumbo dice for a shot at $50,000. For all the details, just go to our website, rockandmanuch.com. Remember, bookmark winatweekapaugh.com to fill out your $100,000 bracket. That is weekapaugh.com.
All right, Jimmy, what do you need to do, though, right now?
What do I need to do?
What do you need to do?
Oh, I need to put my face on the stream.
Yes.
Yes.
Join the stream.
Jimmy. Join the stream.
So
Yes.
he has that read, and Jax puts a little note on our little, active Google Drive that says, Jimmy, join stream link, Jax. And it was like, it's highlighted, and then I decided to blow it up see if you could multitask. Clearly you couldn't, but again, will you please there's not a lot that we ask from you. I mean, the fact that I'm allowing you to drive there and do that read, just
nice
join the stream.
That's
all right,
nice
please.
I'm on it right now.
Okay, all right, so I can take that off.
Here's the best part. Jax taught me how to do it. So
well, obviously you don't listen. So why can't you just put that in
Jimmy
your daily
not
routine?
Really?
When you walk on,
just realize that,
when you walk on the set, just do it every time. It's just he shouldn't have to remind you. Pretend you. Here's the deal.
Okay.
When you guys get old, it's like now you're the kid and we're the parent because we're younger. So now Jax, who's in his early 20s, is now basically telling you what to do.
I have a double checklist that I pretty much get full on. So, Jim, we'll put a
This has
tape.
nothing to do with you, Manuch.
Well, tape
Just
at the
stay
very
out of
top,
it.
Jimmy.
This has nothing to
I'm going
do
to help
with
Jimmy
you,
here.
Manuch.
Put
No.
tape at the top. Open your laptop. Say, join the streaming.
Hey,
the tape
I'm
right
on
there.
it. I'm on it. We're good now.
Jeez, Manuch always has to get involved.
I try to help him out.
Sit on the bench, you're used to it. Just sit back, we'll be okay.
The boy needs a little help. He's
All
got
right.
a little ingestion.
We have some fun overtime buzzer beaters from the weekend. Plus, Alex Ovechkin is getting closer to breaking the Great Ones scoring record. Sounds of the weekend are coming up right here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
You can listen to Arizona Sports 98.7 all over Arizona, even when you're out of range of our mighty transmitter that sits atop South Mountain. If you've got Wi-Fi or any cell signal, you can hear Arizona Sports live on the Arizona Sports app. Download the Arizona Sports app, presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
For 70 years, we've been known as the Humane Society of the United States. But as the challenges animals face have grown, so have we. We are now called Humane World for Animals. And if you love animals, you're part of our world. Humane World for Animals. The end of animal cruelty.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Hi, Arizona sports listeners. It's Wayne from AMCO. So it's the new year. W-2s are out. It's tax time, and soon we'll be getting our tax return checks. Oh, and I know what I'm using mine for. How about you guys? Well, whatever you decide to do with your tax return money, don't forget about your car. You know, getting your taxes done can be confusing, but where to take your car when it needs repairs isn't. That's us at AMCO. Now, you all know it can take 8 weeks or more to get your check back. And no, don't wait till then to get your car fixed. This is the best time of year to get all the things done that you've been meaning or wanting to get repaired on your car. Why now, you ask? Well, that's easy. AMCO has the Fix It Fast, Pay It Slow plan all year long. But at tax time, it works the best. You can get your car or truck all fixed up now and drive away, and then pay for it when your tax money comes in. I know that's pretty awesome. That's because we're AMCO. Google AMCO for your nearest location. That's AMCO. AA, MCO, transmissions, and a whole lot more.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's learning environments are designed for supportive networking and collaboration. With over 330 academic programs, GCU provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Empire of the Suns. Suns Facts. Coming to you from the Empire of the Suns podcast with Kellen and Kevin. Get it on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel or on the Arizona Sports app. The Empire of the Suns podcast is brought to you by Sonic. Live free. Eat Sonic.
Get ready for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's annual Twin Peaks bracket contest at fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. With the guys now on ESPN 620, they've stepped up the stakes to a massive $10,000 purse. Tune in daily from 1 to 4 as the guys broadcast throughout the tournament from all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. It's another March fever at Twin Peaks, and it's your chance to win cash and incredible prizes at fanpick'em.com. Don't miss out on all the action. Now, it's time for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you their top plays and sounds of the weekend on ESPN 620 and 98.7 HD2.
All right, we had some great finishes over the weekend. We'll start in the association. And someone we haven't heard much about this season, Kawhi Leonard. At least I haven't. Didn't know he was still playing.
Oh, yes, he is.
I thought he was like, hurt or load management. Seriously, it's just the quietest Kawhi Leonard year ever that I recall.
It jumps up off the screen when you see him playing.
However, he hits a buzzer beater floater in overtime to take down the Kings.
For the shoot. Kawhi for the win. Yes! The Clippers win in overtime. The ball, despite not playing his best game, and James really kind of dictating the offense for the Clippers, and Kawhi was not going to be denied. Now, remember the shot he made earlier, the three-point play that was tough off balance.
All right, so that's Kawhi Leonard. Credit FanDuel Sports Network. Now we'll shift to the NCAA, the Big East winner. They continue to roll, that being St. John's. Here's their game winner with no time left to beat Marquette.
Clock off. The Johnnies with a chance to win it. They have no timeouts. It's going to be this guy right here. This is R.J. Lewis's game to win. The likely Big East Player of the Year. He pulls the distance. Missed it. What's the rebound? What's it? St. John's. The buzzer.
They're having a magical year.
I mean, that's amazing. He got that ball in that kid's hands right up. The guy's like, where'd he come from? I mean, just the tenaciousness to come to get the rebound, offensive rebound. He's right there. Talk about a gift, Jimmy.
Right.
I mean, that's one of those gifts that, who knows, maybe those college basketball gods are smiling down on this team.
Whatever you think about Rick Pitino, and I know a lot of people dislike the guy for obvious reasons.
What? Give me one.
Every play, because of what took place when he was in Louisville with the hookers.
He's dealt with his penance.
He has. He did.
Hookers?
Yeah. He did his 25 Our Fathers, hit 55 Hail Marys, and did 10 rosaries. Rock and I know about that.
Every place I don't. Every place that he has coached in his second year, he has taken that team to the NCAA tournament. Every place.
Well, $4 million helped him out a little bit, too.
Well, sure.
Yeah, to go get some of those dudes.
NIL.
That helped a lot. So that, I mean, I agree with that, but you got to have the guys. And he went out and got those top-notch guys to help this team. Otherwise, the team he had, if he doesn't get them, I don't know where they finish. But I agree with you. He's a hell of a coach. Phenomenal coach.
So the basketball version of the Iron Bowl, Alabama, Auburn, another game winner, with no time left in overtime.
With 14-7. Tied at 91, and it's Phylon with the ball. He just wants the last shot. You don't want one early. Let Auburn have a chance to throw one in. Last week, Nashak won it for Tennessee. Is someone doing it today? Here goes Sears.
Sears is badass.
He is.
Amazing.
Just a badass.
I mean, number one, keep him in the game. Number one, to keep him hanging around and to have that chance in overtime. But this is NCAA at its finest, getting ready for the tournament play.
93-91. That was courtesy of ESPN. Finally, here's the latest on Alex Ovechkin breaking Gretzky's goal-scoring record. He hasn't yet, but he's getting close. Here, his number 886.
Along the dasher, gun goes round and round. Wilson looking to elevate for Ovechkin. There's an empty net waiting. Alex on the backhand. 1,600 of the grade 8 is an empty net clincher.
I love his nickname, the Great Eight. That's a wonderful, wonderful nickname.
You know, you think back of Record Watch, right? Record-breaking watch.
Sure, yeah.
I think of more of when Hank Aaron was going after Babe Ruth's record.
Sure.
You know, and they're showing all those games, the first couple games of the season. You got to imagine it's must-watch with Ovechkin now for the next 20-some games that they're going to have, that all eyeballs will be on him to see if he can break that Wayne Gretzky scoring
Two best
record.
things that happened to the National Hockey League, Four Nations Tournament and the Great Eight chasing down the Great One as far as goals scored.
All right, sounds brought to you by the WKP Sportsbook in Weekapaw Casino and Resort. From the weekend, when it comes to locally in college basketball, let's start with Arizona State. They ended their regular season with an 85-57 loss to number 9 Texas Tech. They did that at home, and they were, again, shorthanded as this program, a record-tying 9th straight loss at Desert Financial Arena. Now it's the Big 12 tournament, which will get underway tomorrow. The pregame will be heard right here on ESPN 620 at 3:30, tip at 4. And they're playing Manuch's alma mater, Kansas State, in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, and we will catch up with the color analyst Kyle Dodd before tip-off. He'll join us tomorrow at 2:30 to kind of get an understanding of who's healthy, who's not for the Sun Devil team taking on K-State. K-State's been struggling last week or so. So here you are, here you go. In Kansas City with the Big 12 tournament. At this point, it's unfortunate that so many guys have been hurt, but you got to play with the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
Move on from here. I mean, K-State's been struggling, so I don't know. Maybe pull a rabbit out of the hat. The way they shoot.
Anything.
I think they were out of gas versus Tech. I mean,
Tech is good.
Tech
really
is
good.
9th ranked team. They went up and down the court. I mean, it was just one of those games against ASU, but you just hope that it's a respectable game. I love to see ASU play well, but I hope my Cats can finally pull it off.
For Arizona, they fell to Kansas over the weekend, 83-76. They ended up in third place. They are be on either ESPN or ESPN2. As we look at the Lopes, a bad loss for them. Overtime loss Saturday to Abilene Christian, as they lost to them. What was it by a couple points? Yeah, 82-81
in overtime.
And that was one that they could have been nice to win. But now they'll get into the WAC tournament and hopefully pursue another title, which would be their 4th, and an NCAA berth in their past 5 years. They'll get a couple more in there.
Yeah, taking on UT Arlington 8:30 on Wednesday. So that's that late game.
Let me ask you guys this. What did you think of Tommy Lloyd's comments, the coach of Arizona, about, look, we love the McHale Center, but it doesn't come close to some of the arenas in the Big 12.
Well, because you got to think about it, Jimmy. That's the only game in town in the Big 12 arenas.
Well, that's the only game in town in Tucson.
Well,
is Arizona.
It did catch me off guard a little bit.
Yeah,
because they're always rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
They're always cheering.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the fandom is a notch above U of A, or cheering more. That it just like, wow, Tommy, you got a pretty damn good thing going on down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Not against him, but I think
They're the only game in town.
Yeah, that's it. You would think, but I think that you talk to a lot of folks. We talked to Kyle Dodd and some of the other people going into Manhattan or going to KU or
they went to Iowa State.
It seemed like it's a different level,
different vibe.
Yeah, different level of fandom.
And real quick, NAU, they picked up a first round victory over Jimmy B's alma mater on Saturday, beating Eastern Washington Eagles 66-53. Then last night they fell out of the Big Sky tournament, falling to Montana, which is Jax's alma mater. So all three of you get mentioned today.
All three suck.
As they fell,
we'll take
74-65. But we are getting going here. I think when you look at the Big 12 tournament, clearly number one, the favorite is Houston. I think the hottest team right now is BYU. They are playing some pretty good basketball. The dark horse, you can't never say, hey, Bill Self, just sit this one out. So watch out for Kansas. I think they're going to be the dark horse, and those are the three teams that I'm looking at.
Doesn't that sound funny? Kansas, the dark
horse. Yeah.
Normally they're the
weren't
number one.
Weren't they
seed.
number one to start the season?
They were
preseason favorite. I think they were. I don't know. I could
Well,
be
it may
wrong.
come down to Houston and Tech as the Texas Tech as the final. But yeah, KU is typically that's the blue blood
Yes.
of the Big 12 conference. But other than that, it's going to be it's going to be. I think it's tough, but the seeding for once things come out on Sunday night. With I guess very, very interested to see how many teams SEC is going to have. Some are predicting 13 now after it's all said and done.
The SEC
break them up. They may break themselves up.
Yeah, I think you got the SEC is going to do quite well. I think you also got to look at the Big Ten that they could end up getting a ton too. So
I think 10, and I think
they got
the Big 12
10.
8, Big 12 8.
I think Big Ten right now it looks as what I have here. I got Michigan State, Michigan, Purdue, Wisconsin, Maryland, Oregon, UCLA. It's weird to say that, and Illinois are in, and then the bubble teams, believe it or not, are Ohio State, Indiana, and then throw Nebraska in there as well. So we'll get into more of that later. What day do we get Coach Adris?
We got Coach A working on Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay. Big trades, extensions, got some cuts. Cardinals made some moves. We'll get a reaction from Rudy Carpenter next. But first, here's Jax with a local Phoenix ESPN 620 Sports Center.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's bottom of the hour local Phoenix ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Jackson Groff. The Arizona Cardinals have reached an agreement with former Philadelphia Eagles pass rusher Josh Sweat. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the contract is a 4-year deal worth $76.4 million, including $41 million guaranteed money. Sweat is coming off of his best season as a pro, recording 8 sacks, 9 tackles for loss, and 41 quarterback pressures in 16 games. He followed that up with an impressive playoff performance, tallying 2.5 sacks and 6 quarterback pressures in the Eagles' Super Bowl victory against the Kansas City Chiefs. The countdown is on. Make sure you fill out your bracket with fanpick'em.com for your chance to win your share of $10,000. This year's contest is powered by Twin Peaks, Bud Light, and Neutral. With multiple ways to win, you don't want to miss out. Bookmark fanpick'em.com today for all the madness.
Weekopaw Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival, presented by Lerner and Rowe. March 15th at Scottsdale Civic Center. Sip and savor from more than 40 celebrity wines and spirits. Meet Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Neil Giraldo, Criminal Minds Joe Mantegna, WWE's Brie Garcia, NBA All-Star Tom Chambers, and more. VIP tickets for early access and private lounge at civiccenterlive.org. Don't miss the Weekopaw Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival, presented by Lerner and Rowe.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is dramatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Get ready for the ultimate challenge. Sign up for the 100,000 Bracket Challenge powered by Weekopaw Casino Resort. Head to win@weekopaw.com and fill out your bracket. Predict 60 or more games correctly, and you can win a whopping $100,000. Predict 57 or more and take home $10,000. But that's not all. There are fantastic prizes after each round. So what are you waiting for? Fill out your bracket at win@weekopaw.com today.
St. Joseph's Indian School is much more than a school for Native American children.
It's like a family. Classes are fun here. I am learning about my culture.
Since 1927, St. Joseph's Indian School has provided children the education, health care, and support they need to succeed. To help give our kids brighter futures, learn more at stjo.org today. Did you know?
I'm being told our streaming's not working.
Discovering numbers and shapes with your children in any language is a great way to make math fun. When you get excited about pointing and counting or comparing shapes, your child will love to learn math. And they are never
Okay, now it is.
start. Visit talkingisteaching.org/resources/math for free videos, tips, and guides to transform everyday moments into magical moments for math.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter, who went 3-0 against that team in Tucson.
Deep ball again by Rudy Carpenter. He reads it, it's zone coverage, gets behind the safety.
Rudy Carpenter now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, very busy weekend, very busy day in the National Football League. We saw a few quarterbacks being moved, and one is Justin Fields to the Jets. The other is Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. And our quarterback, Rudy Carpenter, joins us now on the Right Soda guest line. Rudy, of those two that I just mentioned, which of the two do you think will have a bigger impact or the most impact?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. I mean, there's been so many roster changes for Seattle. I thought, before all of those roster changes, when they had DK or Tyler Lockett or some of the other guys they had, they still had some weapons, right? But I don't know. I think my viewpoint is the quarterback position is just so dependent on the players around you and the roster around you. And I think the New York Jets are just still a long ways away from having a roster that can, really compete at a high level. And, to a certain extent, I hate to say that because the general manager for the New York Jets is Scottsdale, former Chaparral High quarterback Darren Muji.
Yes.
He's a good friend of mine.
With Geno going to the Las Vegas Raiders, how do you see that playing out with that team? I mean, they've got a good core group of receivers, but is it the running game, is the defense, as he re-engages with one Pete Carroll?
Yeah, I think, between Justin Fields or Geno Smith or, Sam Darnold, I think overall Geno's probably in the best situation. I think the Raiders are much closer to being competitive and to being relevant and to making a difference, than the Jets or the Seahawks right now. So, look, I think ultimately Pete Carroll, when you take a new job and you go into a new place, it's important to establish the new culture, to establish the new way you're going to do things. And if you want to even have a chance to be competitive, you obviously have to have a good quarterback, right? But I think Pete feels very comfortable about Geno Smith and very comfortable with who he is as a leader, as a team captain, as a guy who has been there and done that with Pete. And so I think Pete probably views it as, hey, this is going to be an easy transition for Geno to come here. It's going to be smooth. But also, I know this is a guy who understands how I want a team to operate, how I want a team to move. And he's going to be able to exemplify that stuff in the locker room with the players, when we as coaches aren't always available to do that.
Rudy, I think another very impactful move that happened this weekend, DK Metcalf, who your group represents. Number one, I got a couple questions. You can answer them one way or the other. Was Russell Wilson a big part of trying to get his former teammate there? And talk about impact to having him, Pickens, and Jefferson and the fine tight end to incorporate, I should say, enhance that offense has also got to be a big boost.
Well, look, I don't really know that the Steelers were 100% certain that Russell Wilson was even going to be their guy. Obviously, DK Metcalf is a great player. He's a huge weapon, like literally, figurative, and literally. So yeah, Russell Wilson is obviously going to be happy and be excited with DK Metcalf as his new teammate and a guy to throw to. But I think late in the process, the Steelers were still trying to figure out exactly what they wanted to do in regards to Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So it wasn't like they, were consulting with Russell Wilson, like, maybe the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams situation or other situations like that in the past. But this is a situation where Mike Tomlin has really liked DK Metcalf since the beginning. Obviously that's an offense that has to get more explosive. And when Russell Wilson can still play. Now you got George Pickens, who, by the way, I think needs to grow and mature a little bit. And regardless of what people think they know about DK, he's a very hard worker. He's a great guy in the locker room. He'll be able to help George Pickens develop and become not just the player, but the professional that he needs to be. And with DK Metcalf and George Pickens and now Najee in the backfield, and with Justin Fields gone, I think that gives Russell Wilson a lot of clarity. I think it allows him to take a deep breath, feeling good that, hey, I'm going into OTAs, I'm going into the off season, I'm going into training camp as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he'll probably play better because of that as well.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, you operate now as a agent in the company that you work for. When this day begins, are you sitting at your desk with a headset on, answering call after call? I'm just kind of curious what it's like for a person like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to flex on anybody because that's absolutely not what I'm doing. I just try to be.
Go ahead and flex, Rudy.
Yeah,
go ahead, man. Flex for us.
I am not a certified agent, and that's on purpose. I own the company in which we hire certified agents. Of course, within your agency, you have the agents that represent players for their contracts. You have marketing agents that handle their endorsements and off-field deals or income that could possibly, come in. You have people that just do player services stuff and they help with travel and vacations and just a bunch of different stuff. There's, obviously different departments. From my perspective, I'm very much the strategic person that sits back with our agents, understanding which players we have, which players are up for a contract. Is it is it a free agent contract? Is it a restricted free agent? Is it an exclusive rights free agent? There's a bunch of different things that really matter and how you can negotiate. In DK Metcalf's situation, he had a year remaining on his contract with no guaranteed money. So in that situation, we had to get permission from the Seattle Seahawks to go speak with other teams. Obviously, if a team was going to trade for DK Metcalf and give up draft assets, they obviously wanted to know that he was going to be able and be willing to sign a long-term deal. And so that team obviously had to know, like, hey, if we are going to trade, are we going to be able to get an extension done, or is he going to be sitting out like Hassan Reddick, right? And you obviously can't have that. So, trying the Seahawks giving permission, working out a contract extension, and then hoping that the Steelers and the Seahawks can come together on a package of picks that everybody feels good about. It's a nerve-wracking time a little bit for everybody, but I will tell you this in the grand scheme of things. If anybody believes that these deals are happening today, that's insane. The vast majority, which is totally tampering, by the way, but the vast majority of these free agent contracts, they're getting hammered out. They're getting negotiated. The table is being set at the NFL Combine. If it's with a new team, if the player is going back to the old team, and even if he's not going back to the old team, those contract extension talks have been going on probably since, last year's training camp, where, as an agent, you're checking in with the front office and they're checking in with you, gauging the temperature. Could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? Could it be that? How about this? Oh, hey, he's having a great year. DK started off the year unbelievable this year. Price tag going up, right? And so, but yes, I mean, a lot of these free agent deals with a player going to a new team, especially, I mean, a lot of that really, 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 shapes up and takes form at the NFL Combine, sometimes even as early as the Senior Bowl.
Rudy, if you can't show your hand on this, I'm just curious how it works in regards to, it seems like the Rappaports and the Schechters get the information before the teams actually get the information. Are they on your payroll or how did they get the information before everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, look, of course, both sides use it, right?
Yeah.
in a situation, like, guys that we represent, you're going to a Pete Thamel, you're going to a Adam Schefter, you're going to a Ian Rappaport, you're going to these guys and saying, hey, we're getting out of here. We requested a trade today. And of course they're going to run and go put that out. And then the team is going to come back and say, oh yeah, we've, through those guys, yeah, we've given them, they can go seek out a trade, but you better believe we're asking for a first and a third round pick, kind of letting everybody know, like, if anybody is interested in this is kind of what we want. It's the way of, negotiating before so there's no tampering, and before the teams or two sides have really even talked about, yes, we'll give you permission to go seek this trade. But at the end of the day, it's really just it's kind of like a handshake deal with all of us, which is, hey, Ian, I'm going to give you this. Hey, Adam, I'm going to give you this. Hey, Pete Thamel, I'm going to give you this. And, there's times where we need stuff from them, right? We would like to know information that they have when they talk to their inside sources on teams or whatever it may be. And so it's just kind of like I did one for you, you did one for me, and we all just keep a tally and go back and forth with each other.
I think it's so fascinating.
It is.
Rudy, thanks, man. This is a great day to talk to you. So appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time.
All right, guys. Thanks.
It's Rudy Carpenter, busy today as free agency has gotten started. At least the off season officially has begun.
Whatever happened to, I'm just going to call you and make an offer? All that stuff has changed dramatically.
They're using each other.
Yeah,
and I bet some of these guys are getting paid on the side. They have to be.
Oh, there's something going on.
There's got to be. These guys
scratch my back, I'll scratch your back.
That's what he said.
And here's
hey,
an extra
Rudy,
$50,000.
Rudy's brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. Of course, that's All City Towing. They're hiring all positions. Everything's up on their website. Just go to allcitytowing.com. That's allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move. We'll get you caught up on some of the latest free agent news in our tracker. We'll give you some of that, as well as if anything you missed on the weekend, we'll bring that to you too. You're listening to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
Hey, Arizona, it's Mike Wilbon. I've been around sports professionally and personally for a long, long time. And whether you're on a court, in the gym, or just navigating a tough day, you need to stay hydrated. That's where Cocoa 5 comes in. Cocoa 5 isn't your average sports drink.
But you said you were going to come back with something. You had the
but without the artificial
always sound first. Yeah.
Favorite stores, Cocoa 5, active hydration. Stay hydrated, Arizona.
Join us at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to test drive the new Callaway Elite product line. Experience the future of performance with new shaping, materials, and AI 10X Smart Face, delivering up to 8 yards.
Internet's going in and out for all three of us.
Book your fitting in store or online. Vans Golf Shops, proudly serving golfers since 1963.
Just change. You want me to put my screen on instead? I mean, do you need to have Jimmy on? Oh, you do?
Twin Peaks.
You probably have to come in here and show him.
Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
In times of struggle, conflict, poverty, good finds a way. Good is happening, even now. Good never stops, and neither does Children International. With support from caring friends, we help provide children and families with the critical essentials they need. Together, we can help end poverty. To learn more, go to children.org.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously. The best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
I am so sorry. I was late. I was at the retina specialist getting my first AMD treatment. I was worried that the injection would hurt, but it was much better than I expected.
Did you go to the same retina specialist that I see for my diabetic retinopathy?
Yes, and I am so glad I didn't wait.
When your vision is at risk from retinal disease, you need the expertise of a retina specialist. If you experience blurred central vision, a curtain-like shadow in your vision, floaters, flashing lights, or wavy lines, see a retina specialist.
Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers would be the two logical options. Now, if Aaron Rodgers goes to the New York Giants, then there's one option in Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson goes to the Giants, there's one option in Pittsburgh. Now, I'm sure there are other quarterbacks involved in the mix, and we're still waiting to hear what Daniel Jones does. And Daniel Jones will have an opportunity to go to Minnesota or Indianapolis. And I think that Indianapolis has a real chance to get Daniel Jones.
Adam Schechter, ESPN. Welcome in, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on ESPN 620. Quarterback position. Of course, a lot of talk with Aaron Rodgers emerging as the Steelers' quarterback option. Just seeing him in a Steeler uniform just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. I know you're a Steeler fan, Manuch, but I just you want Aaron Rodgers?
Well, he's still got game, Rock. I think he's an upgrade from Russell Wilson.
5-12 last year.
But hey, he played
11 interceptions, 28 TDs.
Last 3 or 4 games, he played a lot better. He finally started to come around.
The games didn't matter; they were so bad.
I think if you're looking at a guy like Aaron Rodgers, are you upgrading the position? I think you are upgrading the position. He's better than a Russell Wilson. And I think what the Steelers are looking at is, okay, if he stays healthy, he's still a very viable quarterback. He still throws the ball very well. They're not going to rely on him to run much of anything at all because Russell Wilson didn't run that much this year. He did a couple bootlegs. He had a couple scrambles. He's still very good. But I think if the upgrade is there, I think the number is just pretty much what's your asking price, Aaron. What are you going to come to Pittsburgh with? We got Russ on a very cheap deal with a lot of incentives. We had Justin Fields on a very cheap deal with a lot of incentives, and he's now moved on. So it's okay. I think the powers to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers is okay. If we go get Aaron Rodgers, do we keep Russell as the backup? Because you're paying him pretty cheap.
That's the question.
You could because he's not making that much money.
Okay.
Now, but the key is the minimum salary for Aaron Rodgers. He's free agent. Are you going to pay him what, $15 million plus 20 in incentives? And there's got to be something there to make it worth his while. So we'll really see how motivated Aaron Rodgers is playing. But he's got the receiving core, got a really solid defense, decent running game. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of those pieces fit. They went to the playoffs. I think they've lost 7 out of the last 9 years in the first round. But I think all the pieces got to fit if you're going to go after Aaron Rodgers.
Some other news here at Football 50 early. It's all football today. Eddie George is coming back to Ohio. The former Heisman Trophy winner and superstar in the National Football League is now the head coach at Bowling Green State University. They introduced him today. For the last 5 seasons, he's been at Tennessee State in the FCS, and that came down to a few guys. Big move. I think that's a great recruiting move for Bowling Green to get the Ohio State legend there. And they offered him the job on Saturday, and he took it Saturday night.
A lot of guys like Trent Dilfer following the footsteps of one Deion Sanders. You know, you look at Dilfer, UAB, you look at now that, and the guys are putting their time in. You know, you got to think of, you look at him putting his time there at Tennessee State, now moving to Bowling Green State, and looking at a lot of these guys working their way up and trying to have that name. If you don't have quite the NIL money, and you got a guy like, that's your head coach that's been there and done that, and he can help you along if you come to that school, even though you don't have the NIL money for a lot of those, MAC schools or Mid-American schools. That can help a lot of these guys. I call second-tier guys.
Yeah. But look, Deion put his time in.
Sure did,
He coached at Jacksonville. Jackson State for 2 years. And then you talked about NIL money. Colorado didn't have any NIL money until when he showed up.
Well, the money's there. Just I think the product wasn't what guys are going to contribute.
Yeah,
because I talked to a couple guys, alum from Colorado. They were there. They went to Deion. Said, "Look, if I'm coming, I need you oil guys and all you other guys to contribute because I'm coming here to win. So if not, I'll just stay at Jackson State and I'll go down the road or wherever it is. So I think those are some of the things that I think motivated a lot of the NIL money from Colorado.
Penn State is in the news as the Board of Trustees today voted to name Beaver Stadium Field now the West Shore home field. The approval came with a 22-8 vote. They will make, that being the university, $50 million over 15 years as part of the naming rights. It was a gift, actually, from an alum. There was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of pushback because there were a lot of people that wanted to do something in honor of Joe Paterno. And a lot of discussion went back and forth on that. However, the AD, Pat Kraft, really pushed for this money, and hopefully they'll come up with something else to honor Joe Paterno.
Can't they do something like Joe Paterno Stadium sponsored by that particular?
Sponsored by.
Well, I know, but I mean, you scratch.
That's why it's called West Shore Home Field.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's
sponsored by Joe Paterno.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
you could go Joe Paterno Field like Frank Cush Field.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You could do something like that to kind of scratch that itch for the alumni.
Well, you could also do a Joe Paterno entrance at the stadium.
They already have don't they have a
do they have
stadium or a statue? I think
that went by the wayside. Remember, they took that baby down.
They never put that back.
No, they didn't.
Here's the thing: if we just talked about NIL, so anything you can enhance, naming rights,
anything,
patches on the uniform, whatever, to keep your team, Penn State alumni, viable in the national championship run year after year, you're going to need that money for the NIL if you're going to be able to keep up with the Joneses, right? So they went to the playoffs this last year. What are they missing? What do they need to continue to pay? So these are another avenues. Powers to be at Penn State going, look, we appreciate the whole Joe Paterno thing, but this gets us more viable times for championships.
50 big ones.
Yeah, that'll go toward our hoops and football and whatever else needs to be
All right,
there.
let's get to on this day in 1963, a little-known minor league infielder. Goes by the name of Pete Rose, played in his first spring training game, 22 years old at the time, goes 2 for 2 in his debut against the Chicago White Sox, and then would make the Cincinnati Reds opening day roster. He was the team's what position, Jimmy, did he start at?
Third base.
Nope, second base.
Oh, he did start.
He was
second.
the starting
Okay.
second base, and he won the National League Rookie of the Year award that year.
He played every position. He played first, second. He never played short, I don't believe.
So then he didn't play every position.
Well, not every. Let
Did
me
he catch?
rephrase.
Did he catch?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so he
catch.
didn't play every
But
position.
I was going to
Did
say,
he play right field? Did he play right field? Was he
did.
DH?
He played
Okay.
right
catcher
field. He
and
played
shortstop.
left field. Yes, he didn't play catcher and shortstop. I was close.
No, you really weren't.
When you read the story of Pete Rose, they'd never seen anybody hustle like that in spring training.
That is right.
They were like, oh my gosh, this guy. Well, number one,
try to make
exactly
team.
right. But I mean, it was the thing that surprised a lot of guys. He kept that for how many years? But they used to say, look, we saw this kid wants to make the team, obviously, and hustle then rookie year and then second year and 15th, 16th, and on and on. So that was the impressive. That's why Charlie Hustle got the name.
1995, Michael Jordan announced that he is leaving the Chicago White Sox organization. Eventually, he would return to the Bulls. He struggled in his one season in minor league baseball, as we all remember, the Birmingham Barons. Before that, his first job, I should say, was with the Scottsdale Scorpions in the Arizona Fall League. That was the second year of that league. Manuch and I, you and I have talked about it.
Sure.
I was one of the operations GMs the first year of that league for the Chandler Diamondbacks out of Compadre Stadium. But year two is when that league really was put on the map, thanks to Michael Jordan.
I mean, that had to be, to be a part of that, Rock, had to be just the droves of fans to see him play baseball.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that because I was there the first year.
Yeah.
And our attendance was typically, we would range from 23 scouts to 50.
Wow.
That's all we had.
Just to see all the new
you
talent.
could count. And we would have games set up like there would be 10,000 people. You couldn't give tickets away. We had to deal with Safeway at the time, and we couldn't give the tickets away because no one knew what it was. It was only, 5-6 weeks, in October into November. Great baseball. It was like a AAA, AA all-star team, because we had 6 teams on our squad. Every team had 6. And the league is still doing really, really well. It's not a league that needs to make money. It's a league for these for scouts and owners and GMs and everybody else to see what they have.
I think when the news came out tonight for sports and Michael Jordan was playing, it was like, for me, it was must watch. I want to see how I want to see his stroke.
Yeah, sure.
I want to see him play. He had a long stroke.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he made contact. He had some power behind him. Here's this guy 6'6", 6'7", loping around the base. By the way, pretty fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For his size.
For his size. Look, the thing that Jordan did in baseball, the best thing that he did, he got the Birmingham Barons a brand new bus to travel in because they don't travel in planes. They ride the bus for 8 hours.
Hey, do me a favor, Manuch. Let's reach out to Steve Gilbert when he has some time.
Okay.
Steve was the PR guy for the Arizona Fall League. He was Michael Jordan's right-hand man. And it'd be cool to just have some fun with that one day, just to kind of, since we're getting into baseball. There's just so many cool stories I'm sure he has. I mean, one that I heard, I don't know how true it was, but the clubhouse, the clubby, basically, Mike Muttley was his name. He was with us when I was with the Phoenix Firebirds. He, I guess, would have to, Michael would drive his Corvette or whatever he drove to center field at Scottsdale Stadium. And then Muttley would have to go take his car and wash it as well as go to McDonald's. And he would go to McDonald's every day. Yeah. I don't know how true the story is, but great. I remember it, vaguely. It was 30 something years ago, but I guess he would get Michael he would get him I think quarter pounder with cheese, large fries, and a Coke. I think that's what he wanted every day. And he would tip him $100 every time. Yeah. Oh, so man, I wish Muttley was still with us to be able to tell us that. Also, one more thing, 2019, we all thought this was going to be big. The Diamondbacks signed Adam Jones to a 1-year, $3 million contract back in 2009. But we know how that went. Hey, we'll get into more of the free agency that is just making a lot of noise. We'll get into that next as we're coming to you live from the ESPN Phoenix 620 studios. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jackson Hewitt wants you to save money on tax prep. We're saving money by having our intern rap in this commercial.
Don't stress. Jackson Hewitt's got expert tax prep, $149 or less. Yo, some tax guys lie about price. They got hidden fees. That ain't nice. Ain't nice. Don't ignore MC Kevin's rhyme, because this deal's for a limited time. $149
for tax prep that's $149 or less. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
No cap.
Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Learn to enroll. It's the way to go. Call 977-1900, 977-1900.
Come visit the all-new Wecopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wecopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and a resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wecopa Casino Resort today. At Wecopa, we have the best of it all.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620.
And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
We got it. We got to go to national programming. Cox TVs all went down. I can't do a show without watching TV. They're all down.
Yeah, little internet issues
There's
going on
currently
here.
no TV signal detected on this channel. All
Damn.
4 of our TVs. Hey, let's see. Hey, Jax, go run down to 98.7 and see if theirs are on. Maybe we're just because we're, they're the mothership and we're the step kids here.
We're not cool enough.
Yeah, we're not cool enough. But hey, the NFL's free agency frenzy is off to a fast start with multiple NFL franchises already handing out new deals worth more than $100 million each. You had $1 billion weekend of extensions and trades and a bunch of new signings. We saw a bunch of 10-figure totals. Has just basically just taken this thing to a whole nother level. So here we are. It's the league's legal tampering period. It opened today at 9:00. Free agent contracts, trades can't be officially completed until Wednesday at 1:00, but all the parties can now at least come to terms on any of the deals. So here's the most expensive, and some may feel maybe the most surprising as you look at the NFL free agent deals. And we'll get in, of course, the Cardinals as well. But on the entire National Football League, the Seahawks won the Sam Darnold sweepstakes, $100.5 million deal. Former Bears, Steelers quarterback Justin Fields is signing a $40 million deal over 2 years with the Jets. And the Panthers, J.C. Horn, became the highest paid defensive back with a $100 million average, or extension, I should say, with an average of $25 million a year. The 2 most active teams today, if you're looking at your tracker, is the Patriots and the Bucks, as the Patriots landed Milton Williams. He got a 4-year, $104 million. Carlton Davis got a 3-year, $60 million, and several other players. When you look at Tampa Bay, Chris Goodwin got a $100 million deal. They added Hassan Reddick. I mean, the list goes on. And if you're a Twitter guy, an X guy, it went down today. I know Jack's supposed to be flipping out because, all of a sudden X and Twitter experienced like these outages similar to Cox, which is now back. Thank you. As they are, I don't know what happened, but they said that there were several spikes of users, which brought X down, which is kind of remarkable.
Just the power of the National Football League, maybe something like that.
Well, they picked a bad day to go down. Yeah.
You look at the Milton Williams thing. The Panthers were finalizing a deal with him, and then he gets snatched away by the Patriots, a much better offer. But now you look at him, and you look at this Rock, as you alluded to, Davis, Landry, Spillane, along with Williams, building the defense. That is this Mike Vrabel, the head coach of the New England Patriots, as you see that. And I think that's it's kind of the way. And I think with the Arizona Cardinals, with Josh Sweat signing a contract today or Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then
why do you have to say that?
Yeah.
It's signed.
Well, yeah, it's official.
But it's official.
Okay, but anyways, I think that they need to go get maybe one or two more defensive guys.
How about that's the only guy they have signed outside of re-signing. So
Browning.
they got a lot. Yeah, re-sign. They want to re-sign a bunch of guys.
Yeah,
but that's it. So
And-
unless there's a lot of things in the works, which we got 48 hours of this stuff.
Well, it'll continue on. I mean, they can actually sign on Wednesday, but the free agency will continue on even after Wednesday. I'm just very interested to see which way they go. And now that they're here, they can't be satisfied when you see what the Patriots are doing, going after guys and spending their cap money.
Well, let's talk about the Sweat deal because that's the only deal we can talk about. The others, okay, those were, I think many of us probably felt they were going to happen anyway. But let's talk about Sweat because this is a big signing for this organization. It's not every day that they're going to give somebody $41 million guaranteed. This deal's worth $76.4 million. Pass rusher coming off one of his best seasons, and as a free agent, he wanted to come here. That's a good sign. It's a real good sign. Or was it, I'm going to just go, who's going to give me the most money?
Well, I think the money in Jonathan Gannon was the key for him.
Played there for a couple years, yeah.
He knows the system. He knows he knows this defense. He knows how he can flourish in it. And that money, that $41 million guarantee, helps quite a bit as well, too. So he got paid. He's coming to a team that he feels is on the up and coming, if you will. And I think those are some things that factored into Josh Sweat coming here to the Arizona Cardinals is the fit for him.
I think also that he knows he's going to be the man on defense. That right now, when he gets signed officially on Wednesday, that he is the premier defensive player on that defensive line. Manuch, I'm with you 100%, and Rock saying they got to find somebody else. They got to find a fat guy who can stuff the run in the center of the field. Let linebackers then make the plays.
Well, and like the Eagles, a lineman that can push the pocket. That's a problem.
Carter, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rawlis, defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, had to get real creative with his stunting and blitzing packages.
Right.
When you have a guy like Josh Sweat comes off the edge as he can be an outside linebacker, come on the line, be in the down position. He is now a guy that they've got to be aware of to block. And if you got one more guy in the middle in this 3-4 front, whether it be at tackle or a guy in the a position based off the nose, off the center, then you can have an extra guy that can help push that pocket. It makes that defense that much more vulnerable, or that offense, pretty much to a place where they're going to be very aware of him and the other guy, and it helps the defensive backs out.
All right, we'll take a little timeout when it comes to NFL free agency. If something comes down, we'll play a sounder, but we haven't even mentioned them today, and that's the Phoenix Suns, as they had their second straight strong game from Devin Booker, as he ended up with 24 points yesterday, 3 rebounds, a steal, just 1 turnover, and 6 assists. You had Durant's 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists, and Bradley Beal's 19 points and 6 assists and 0 turnovers. Durant had 6 turnovers yesterday, by the way.
That's why Manuch is always yelling, don't dribble the ball.
Don't. Just shoot. Just keep the ball out of his hand.
They beat a team that they should have because they don't have enough players.
Yes.
That being the Mavs, they had to win that game. If they didn't, but they made it. It was too close to my comfort for watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the Suns now, they're 30-34. They're battling for that 10 seed and a place in the postseason, and it'll come down to Dallas, San Antonio, Portland. You root against them. You root for them. You want them. No, you want them to lose. Excuse me. Yeah, that's easy for me to say. You want them to lose in the final month and have the Suns win and see if they can least kind of squeeze in there and have an opportunity.
Well, Dallas is 21, and you look at they're chasing Dallas by 2.5 games.
Right.
You're not going to catch Sacramento. They're 4.5 games.
They're playing
into it.
They're playing well.
And they're playing well. They won 6 out of the last 10. It's the Mavericks I think you're going to go with, unless Portland gets hot, and unless they get hot, or San Antonio. But you're right. They got Memphis tonight. You go into Memphis, you know what they do against Memphis. It's going to be very difficult to win there.
Here's the thing on Memphis. No Bradley Beal tonight. Out with the calf
Again?
strain. Yep.
Is that official?
That's official. Out with the calf strain. So he is not going to play tonight, which means that Manuch's
Is that
new
load
favorite
management?
player.
Is that load management?
Yeah,
No.
load management. Yeah, for
I mean,
the
let's
Cavs.
talk about this. Is it
Okay.
load management or not?
It's
a back-to-back.
They're saying that because it's back-to-back, they are
He's playing through the calf strain is what he's doing.
Yes, he is.
So they're going to rest him
So
tonight.
they'll rest him tonight.
So he's ready for Wednesday against Houston.
There you
Then
go.
just say it.
Yeah, well, they can't technically admit that it's load man. They're saying,
Yeah.
well, he's got a calf strain.
strain.
He's questionable or he's out because we got to take on Houston on Wednesday. And then Sacramento in town. You got a six-game homestand. So you Sacramento and then the Lakers on Sunday.
So
they're resting him tonight.
Yes.
Because there's probably no way they win.
Yeah, your boy Colin Gillespie's going to get more playing time tonight, Manuch.
This thing, I got a feeling it's going to go down the wire. I see Dallas continuing to slip and slip and slip.
They don't have anybody to play. That's
what I'm saying.
They got seven guys. Seven guys.
So the Suns have to take advantage of that.
They have to.
They have to. If they're going to get that last spot, they just have to take advantage of it. Can't go to sleep at the switch. But if they feel that Bill's going to be out, you rest him. You play him on Sunday. You play him on Wednesday. You play him on Friday.
Yep.
You might even rest him on Friday, thinking, well, they could beat Sacramento without him. And then you got the Lakers in town on Sunday.
Who says that they can beat Sacramento without
That's true.
him?
That's
There you
true.
go. I don't see that happening. Sacramento's playing solid basketball, despite the fact that Domantas Sabonis is out right now with a hamstring. So Sacramento Kings, they're going to be a tough out. They really will. Hey, headlines presented by Weekapaw Casino and Resort and the WKP Sportsbook. And everybody, listen up, because we have a huge $100,000 bracket contest, and it's taking place right now. All you have to do is just go online, winatweekapaw.com. Just go to winatweekapaw.com. Do not miss your chance to have a shot at $100,000. And we want to see you for our big, giant Final Four event at the WKP Sportsbook. It's free to attend. Have $100 props, $100 squares, and don't miss out on our halftime contest. 25 lucky guests will roll the jumbo dice for a shot at a whopping $50,000. That's going to be a great day at the WKP Sportsbook. All of the details are up at the website, rockandmanuch.com. Remember, bookmark winatweekapaw.com. Fill out your bracket, a chance to win $100,000. Once again, that's winatweekapaw.com.
All right, coming up, it's our G2G Game Changers of the Weekend. Craig Fouey in 15 minutes. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Hey, Arizona, it's Mike Wilbon. I've been around sports professionally and personally for a long, long time. And whether you're on a court, in the gym, or just navigating a tough day, you need to stay hydrated. That's where Cocoa 5 comes in. Cocoa 5 isn't your average sports drink, packed with the electrolytes your body craves, but without the artificial junk you don't need. Available at your favorite stores, Cocoa 5, active hydration. Stay hydrated, Arizona.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezia's, a family and catering tradition.
At Grand Canyon University, we believe in equal opportunity, and the American dream starts with purpose. Whether your pursuit involves a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree, GCU's learning environments are designed for supportive networking and collaboration. With over 330 academic programs, GCU provides a path to help you fulfill your dreams. The pursuit to serve others is yours. Find your purpose at GCU. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Shannon Bro. Being in an auto accident is dramatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Turner and Road is the way to go. Oh, 977-1900. 977-1900.
Every day, women like me go to the doctor for annual checkups for conditions like breast cancer. Early detection saved my life. But women with disabilities face a cruel reality: inaccessible medical facilities and equipment.
I went to a doctor's office I was told was accessible, but when I got there, I couldn't get through the front door.
Our veterans deserve better. Help PVA fight for access at pva.org.
Time for the G2G Protein Bar Play or Team of the Weekend. Did your favorite player make an incredible play or your team had a big upset? They probably know all about G2G Protein Bars, a refrigerated protein bar with unmatched taste, grab and go goodness. G2G Protein Bars are now available at Costco.
We just do commercial free. Play a little wagon wheel.
Good tunes you got, Rock.
Puts on a great show. Oh,
Darius Rucker.
yep. Formerly of Hootie.
That's
All
correct.
right. Thanks, dude. Why do you always have to say correct after I say something? I know it's correct.
Who did?
You do.
I didn't say correct.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, just to be fair, can you go back?
That was in the song.
Everybody could record
You
it.
just said correct.
You always say it. Just, Jimmy, you're just. Oh, I don't know how much more time we have with you. All right, let's get to our G2G Protein Bar game changers of the weekend. We all have them. We even bring in Jackson Connor. I'm going to kind of go off the board here.
Mm-hmm.
On the bounce, it's Curry. Oh.
Cheat code. Absolutely unbelievable.
Steph Curry, of course, that incredible shot last week. That is not my G2G protein play or anything like that, but it's him, what he's doing off the court. Him accepting a role at his alma mater at Davidson College to be an assistant general manager for basketball programs, I think is a remarkable feat that he is going to accomplish, and he is just going to do some pretty big things. He'll become the first active player in U.S. major sports to take an administrative job with an NCAA team as a guy that's still playing. Now, Andrew Luck, if you remember, retired NFL quarterback, Stanford. He did something similar at Stanford, but he was no longer playing. But you look at what Curry is going to be able to do for Davidson and their basketball programs, both men and women. His wife is involved. He's got a couple other guys that are involved. I think this is just a really cool thing that he is doing that I hope that will trigger more players to take care of their alma mater, like we saw James Harden and what he did last week. But to give these guys a little bit more of a responsibility, like a general manager role, which it's an assistant GM. It's not like he's going to have to do a lot, but what he can do and what he can do with big time sponsors and the amount of money he can bring in with NIL, and just to have the Davidson flag on his back all the time, I think it's just huge.
That's a brilliant move.
It is.
That's brilliant. I mean, those are some of the things that, to reiterate, brilliant move. And maybe it is a correct move by Davidson, but I think during the regular season, they'll just utilize him as far as a lot of players, as far as NIL money or whatever else, to say, hey, look, he's going to be part of that recruiting. He's going to be part of NIL. He's just going to be a huge part of that.
So I have two today. My other is going to be the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Why, you ask, Jimmy?
I am asking.
Because
why?
the Oakland A's, soon to be the Vegas A's, who are now playing in Sacramento for 3 years, they are doing a patch sponsorship on their jerseys. And it's brilliant. I mean, it sucks for Sacramento, but here they are on their sleeve. It'll be it'll be Vegas, promoting the Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, which I think is huge. It'll be on their sleeves for home, road, their alternate jerseys during the regular season, the playoffs. It's just a brilliant move on marketing. And of course, the A's are sitting back like, we'll take the check. But I give the marketing folks in Vegas all the credit in the world. So I'm giving the folks in Vegas my G2G protein bar.
Did you see the rendering of their new stadium?
It's awesome.
It is
pretty phenomenal.
Tremendous.
It's
outer space.
It's Vegas.
It is Vegas.
It's Vegas.
It's going to put pressure on the Dimebacks.
Yeah, it will.
I really think if we start seeing more of these stadiums popping up and they're sitting there waiting on this money to renovate Chase, I don't know.
All right, guys, my G2G protein bar game changer. We're going to go back to Denver and one Nikola Jokic.
Denver basketball. Russ Westbrook has it right elbow. Up top, Jokic thought about a three. Now puts it on the deck. Drives around Plumlee. Lefty kind of half hook. He got it to go. So that's why Jokic is the best in the biz.
Thank you, 98.7. Tim Ring and Tim Kempton on the call last night or a couple nights ago. He becomes the first NBA player, and Jim, this is what's interesting about this, the triple-double of at least 30 points, 20 rebounds, and 20 assists. Now, he tied his own record with his 29th triple-double of the season, stretching his career total to 149. He ended up with 31 points, 22 assists, 21 rebounds, and 3 steals in that Nuggets 141 overtime win over the Suns on Friday night. So he is my G2G protein bar game changer of the night, maybe of the year.
He is the
Those
best
numbers
player.
are phenomenal.
He's the best player on the planet right now. And I know he doesn't jump high and he doesn't have that athletic look about him, but nobody plays basketball the way that he plays basketball.
They couldn't defend him at all.
No.
In that fourth quarter,
No.
in that overtime. I mean, he was flat-footed on several of shots around the rim, on the outside. By the way, why do you ever let him have a wide-open three-point shot? I'm just saying. I mean, the Suns gave it the good old college try, but for what he did, and I didn't realize the 30-20-20 was a magic mark for something like that.
My G2G protein bar player of the weekend, it is one Bills quarterback. No, it's not Dan Manucci. It is Josh Allen.
Big play here. Trying to go up top for it.
He wants to run for it, Jim. He wants to just go get it with his legs. He's trying to find
it. Wasn't there, so now he's got to throw it deep to the end zone. And was that caught? Yes! Ty Johnson scrapes it off the ground, above the ground for the touchdown.
And thank you to CBS for that highlight. Josh Allen inks a $330 million contract, highest paid player in the NFL as we speak. Manuch, I'm telling you, you missed your calling. You really did.
Maybe I need to get involved with the NFL, the Buffalo Bills alumni a little more intimately. Go visit Buffalo once in a while. Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Hey, remember me?
Could you help a quarterback clinic out once in a while?
Josh Allen, who, by the way, has yet to get the Bills to the Super Bowl. Also, this is a guy in Josh Allen who would throw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, run for 2 touchdowns, but because a 185-pound kicker kicks a field goal with no time left on the clock to win the game for the other team, Manuch would not put him on his clipboard segment.
Well, you got to win the game. That's the bottom line. You got to win the game. By the way, he surpasses Deshaun Watson.
He does.
For 250 of that 330 guaranteed. I think Watson was at 236.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean.
Unbelievable.
Be around to 2030 minimum.
He is my G2G player of the weekend.
All right, Jax.
All right, I'm going to go into Michigan and highlight a special coach, one of the best coaches of all time, Tom Izzo in Michigan State.
And now they try to blow a pass to Danny Wolf. It's knocked away. MSU has it. Here's Akins for another 3. And now MSU takes it away. Kohler, he slaps it.
What a steal by Akins in Michigan State. Absolutely dominant.
Tom Izzo not only beat his rival in-state Michigan for the second time this season, he won his 11th Big Ten regular season championship. They're the number 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament where they're projected to win his 7th Big Ten tournament title. But this is a team, guys, that was unranked preseason in the AP poll. They were picked to finish 6th in the Big Ten, only brought in 2 transfers, and in year 30, he's finished the regular season for Michigan State 26-5, 12 quad 1 wins. They won their outright Big Ten title, got a top 5 defense in the country. I can go on and on and on. Watch out for this Michigan State team because I don't know where they're going to end up. Probably going to be a 2 seed in the tournament. But if they face an Auburn, a Duke, a Houston that are all projected to be number 1 seeds, this Michigan State team, as you all know, in March can be dangerous. So shout out to Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans. Almost said Wolverines.
Yeah, you did.
The Spartans.
Boy, Jax, nice catch.
Hey,
for being my
listen,
G2G.
I like that selection, but I think that Rick Pitino at St. John's.
Oh, boo-hoo, Jimmy. Boo-hoo.
I'm not saying
I said
that
Rick Pitino 2 weeks ago, and you took mine after that.
Jimmy,
Today is Tom Izzo.
It's Jax's G2G protein bar.
I understand.
Why are you trying to bogart him?
I'm not bombing him. I'm just saying I agree with everything that he pointed out. I'm just saying that for Coach of the Year, Rick Pitino's name will be mentioned in that same breath.
All right, Connor, let's move on. What do you got there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm going to be going on to the big race we had down there in Goodyear. I'm going to be going with Christopher Bell winning a 3rd consecutive NASCAR Cup Series. He won at Atlanta Motor Speedway, Circuit of the Americas, and then now winning at the Phoenix Raceway. This is the final lap.
And caution. No, white flag. Here we go. 1 lap to go. The race is on. They're 3 wide. Bell solidifies the lead. No, Denny's still there on his outside, hanging tough.
It's all going to come down to what happens right here on the entry into turn 3.
Don't take yourselves out and hand it away. Don't do it. Keep an eye on Larson. Off turn 4. Bell edges ahead and wins 3 in a row.
Wow.
That was awesome.
What a great finish.
How does that happen?
3 in a row?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's unheard of.
First time doing it with the next gen car, and I think the last person to do this was Kyle Larson back in 2021.
I didn't know you were a net car guy.
Followed a little bit.
Yeah, obviously a lot more than a little bit. Good. All right, good stuff. G2G protein bars, as we always talk about here on Mondays. If you have not had one, you need to try one, and they are available to you at Costco. They are fresh, no preservatives. They're stored in the refrigerator. So check it out. Go to Costco, check them out in the refrigerated section, or just go online. You can order them there, and you get a 15% discount. G2GBar.com. That's G2GBar.com. We'll catch up at ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy next. But first, here's Jax with your local Phoenix ESPN 620 Sports Center.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's bottom of the hour local Phoenix ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Jackson Groff. The Arizona Cardinals have reached agreement with former Philadelphia Eagles pass rusher Josh Sweat. According to Adam Schefter of ESPN, the contract is a 4-year deal, $76.4 million, including $41 million in guaranteed money. Sweat is coming off of one of his best seasons as a pro, recording 8 sacks, 9 tackles for losses, and 41 quarterback pressures in 16 games. He followed that up with an impressive Super Bowl performance, tallying 2.5 sacks, 6 quarterback pressures in the Eagles' Super Bowl victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. The countdown is on. Make sure you fill out your bracket on fanpick'em.com for your chance to win a share of $10,000. This year's contest is powered by Twin Peaks, Bud Light, and Neutral. With multiple ways to win, you don't want to miss out. So bookmark fanpick'em.com today. That's fanpick'em.com. More details on rockandmanuch.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Get ready. March Mania is heating up, and we've teamed up with WKP Sports at the beautiful Weekapaw Casino Resort. We're hosting a massive $100,000 bracket contest. Plus, we're hosting a huge Final Four event, $100 props and squares, and 50 lucky people will roll the jumbo dice for a shot at $50,000. Get all the details on our website, rockandmanuch.com, at Weekapaw Casino and Resort.
Weekopaw Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival, presented by Lerner and Rowe. March 15th at Scottsdale Civic Center. Sip and savor from more than 40 celebrity wines and spirits. Meet professional golfer Christy Kerr, Roger Klein from Roger Klein and the Peacemakers, Pro Baseball's Dusty Baker, and more. VIP tickets for early access and private lounge at civiccenterlive.org. Don't miss the Weekopaw Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival, presented by Lerner and Rowe.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag sexy roof status. At State 48 Roofing, we are family owned and operated, born and raised in Arizona. We'd love to give back to our schools and community. Contact us at state48roofing.com. What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag sexy roof status. All of our work using state-of-the-art materials and 5-star workmanship. Our inspections are free. You heard me? Free. Go to state48roofing.com to schedule your free appointment today.
Join us at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to test drive the new tailor-made QI 35 Woods, the 4th generation of carbon wood technology. This driver unlocks a new level of distance by combining optimal launch conditions and ultimate forgiveness to maximize performance. Book your fitting in-store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, proudly serving golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
It's time for Fact or Phooey with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Phooey. Phooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now, here's ABC 15's Craig Phooey.
All right, Phooey, rumor has it that you had a little sit down with the coach, Mr. Gannon. Anything interesting came out of that? I heard they signed somebody today that's a former Eagle.
Not a bad player.
Some guy named Josh Sweat, right?
Yes,
That's
yes.
the guy? Yeah, some linebacker. Yeah, 2.5 sacks in the Super Bowl, that guy?
That guy, yes.
You know?
That guy.
How excited is Coach Gannon?
Pretty excited, I'll tell you what. You got to be, right?
Yeah.
We're out here today, though, at the D-backs Dodgers out at Camelback Ranch.
Oh, okay.
So right now it's the Dodgers 3, D-backs 1, heading into the top of the 5th. So
have they brought in all the 80s and 90s players, with the uniforms, or they still got some of the guys playing?
They're still playing, man. These guys are unbelievable. Yeah. Listen, this Dodgers team is so good.
Oh, yeah.
It is unbelievable, right? And you start looking at this lineup and you're thinking, holy cow. And Torrey obviously knew coming in that this is the Dodgers and they were just not going to bring their all-star lineup out here. So we got a couple of guys. He has to play so many eligible players, right? You know that. So, but it's been fun.
And didn't the Dodgers just give Dave Roberts like another 25-year extension or something like that, give or take? I mean, it's amazing.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. And you have enough money, too.
Well, and then some, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, Factor Phooey, ABC 15's Craig Phooey. Got 5 questions for him. Here's the first. The Suns must win at least 12 of their last 18 since they're 2.5 games back of Dallas, 4.5 from Sacramento in order to make the play-in tournament. Factor Phooey.
Fact, I don't think they're going to do well tonight. They're at Memphis in a back-to-back. Obviously beat Dallas yesterday down there in ABC game. And now they go down to Memphis to take on the Grizzlies. I just think they're going to back in because Dallas is just hurting so bad, right? Luka's gone, AD's out, Kyrie's out. I mean, it looked like a glorified G League team down in Dallas yesterday taking on the Suns. So I think the Suns will back into it. I think they'll make it. But do they make it out of the play-in? I'm not so sure.
All right, Coach, speaking of the Suns, Sun center Nick Richards, who has averaged 16 points and 8 rebounds the last 3 games, is finally playing up to his potential the Suns needed when they made the trade for him. Fact or Phooey?
Yeah. Listen, Nick Richards is a backup guy, right? I mean, this is a guy he's a blue collar guy that's played backup his whole career. He came in here for an opportunity. He's taken advantage of it. I think there's a lot of questions about this Suns lineup. What's going on? Why are they playing certain guys? Why are they not playing other guys? And there's a lot of questions for a team that's just struggling all season long. But Nick Richards has been okay. But I'm not putting a lot of stock in Nick Richards moving forward.
I'm with you. He's a guy. That's it.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
He's a guy.
There you go. All right, here we go, pal. Number 3. The Suns must have all of the big 3 playing out of the last 18 games to have any chance to make the play-in games, fact or phooey. And then I will tell you Bradley Beal is out tonight.
I was just going to say it doesn't look good tonight for that one. I'm going to say it's back just because they don't have any wiggle room, right? This Suns team is not great. We've had 2 years now of this experiment with the big 3, and it doesn't work. We've seen it. We know it doesn't work. They haven't been able to fill in the roster with enough quality players to make it work. And I don't know what's going on with the Suns. Something's not right, whether it's chemistry, whatever it may be. And I'm a big chemistry guy as a former coach. You can talk about all your great players and all that stuff, but it doesn't mean a hill of beans unless you got some chemistry and guys get along. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's leadership, lack thereof. I don't know if it's chemistry. It's certainly not talent. They have enough talent to do it, but my goodness, this team is just not they're just not good. So I don't know how else to put it. They're an 11th place team in the West.
ABC 15's Craig Fouey here on ESPN 620. All right, ASU Athletic Director Graham Rossini will wait until the Big 12 conference tournament is over before he makes a decision on Bobby Hurley. And by the way, Bobby Hurley's buyout is $3 million. Factor.
Yeah, that's peanuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to wait. That's a fact. I mean, you're not going to fire Bobby Hurley before you go to the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, right? So you're going to wait. They play, I think, Tuesday? We'll see what happens. You know, they have a chance here. I think they're taking on Kansas State in the first round.
Yes.
Manuch's alma mater.
Yep.
If he graduated.
I did. 3.0. 3.0. I graduated.
Excellent.
After I paid my parking fines, they sent me the diploma.
Oh, see? That's right. See? No, it helped to know security, didn't it? Campus security.
Yes, it did. $60 later.
Yeah, I think that you wait at the obvious choice. And I just think at this point, I said it Sunday night on our show last night, I just think it's time to move on. We've got 10 years of Bobby Hurley. We've had 1 tournament appearance in the last 5 years, 14 wins. I mean, it's just not working for whatever reason. And I think it's a great opportunity for Graham Rossini to take a look at where they're at. He can pitch a new remodeled arena that they got to get that on board. They've got this revenue sharing plan they're putting together. They've got some new things happening. And you caught lightning in a bottle with Kenny Dillingham. And maybe you find a young assistant coach that's eager to try and come in and try and get this thing going. Somebody that really understands the transfer portal, NIL, and all those kinds of things. And I think it's just time.
All right, Coach, last one. Now the Cardinals will be signing Josh Sweat. They must continue to sign at least 2 or 3 more top free agents in order for this team to have a chance at this year's playoffs. Fact or phooey?
Well, with the fact, it's done. They got Evan Brown and Kelvin Beachum to come back.
It just oozes out of your voice there, Fouey.
Listen, I talk about jury is still out. I just don't know what's going on. You've got a bunch of money to spend. Go spend it. Go get some guys.
Agreed.
And the trouble is guys want to go where they can win, right? And I'm just not sure anybody understands where they can win yet. So I'm hopeful that something comes about. I'm hopeful that they get some guys to come in here and play because you could turn this pretty quickly now if you can get some quality free agents. Josh Sweat is a step in the right direction.
How many dogs have you had today so far? You got to eat. None. A Dodger dog? You don't get a Dodger dog? Come on.
I didn't get it. You listen, I'm standing up on the press box here, outside the press box, looking down. The lines to get a hot dog is unbelievable.
Don't they give you food? I mean, your press. I mean, don't they have Dodger dogs up in the press box?
I brought a power bar. That's my lunch today. That's
man, we got to get you some pizza bars.
We're not out at some fancy restaurant doing a remote, hanging out, getting free meals and pizzas and sandwiches.
Oh, yeah. You're speaking to Manuch. Yeah, he works for food. Yeah.
I resemble that remark, Fooey.
Yes, you do.
We're grinding, man. We're grinding. We just ran to the Diamondbacks locker room, got Trey Jameson. We were here early to get to Torrey Lavella before the game. We're working, man.
Wait. You said you had shots of Jameson? I know you're a big – I think March 17th is a big day for Philly. Philly, you love March 17th.
We had a shot at Jameson. There you go.
Okay. There you go.
Great.
There you go.
No, but I'm a Jameson guy. There's no question about it. And, former Grand Marshal of St. Patrick's Day Parade. So – that's kind of my holiday.
I love it. Fooey, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Coach.
You got it.
ABC 15's Craig Fooey there, and he is brought to you today by the Taco Spot. Taco Spot with locations throughout Arizona. Come and experience the tacos to talk about. For a location near you, head to tacospotaz.com. I don't know how you can go to Camelback Ranch and not have, a Dodger dog. It's not quite the same, but they do have them there. There is something to the Dodger dog. There really is. I mean, you go to Dodger Stadium and it's like you have to. I mean, even if you're a vegetarian, you gotta have one.
It's just a little unimpressive. First time you have one, you go,
I
gotta have one.
Like so you're probably the same if you went to the Cubs and you're Wrigley and you don't have an old style. I mean, how can you not?
No, I've done that. I've not gone to Wrigley.
Really doubt you really.
Right. I do like the old style. I've had that many, many, many years ago. But I mean, it's first time.
I thought you were going to say many, many, many of them.
No. But going to Chavez Ravine the first time many years ago and we got to get the Dodger dog. The kids are small. I'm going, no, okay. It's a little, onions, a little ketchup, a little mustard, a little relish, whatever. I was just expecting this. Man, this thing is phenomenal. It's a hot dog. It's all about the Dodger dog.
They just call it a Dodger dog. That's it.
But you had to have it.
Yeah.
You went to the old style. Even they promote Pabst Blue Ribbon beer back in the day. One thing in reference to Josh Sweat and these guys that he talked about, as far as a lot of these guys want to go where they have a chance to not only get paid but win. And I think Josh Sweat, sometimes you look at Monty Osiford and Jonathan Gannon coaching there at Philadelphia, said, look, here's where we're at. Here's where we're going. Had to really believe, that being Josh Sweat, that this team has a chance to make the playoffs. Now, sometimes these guys are good enough to sell ice to Eskimos, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
So I think what you said, Jimmy, in reference a little earlier about, hey, he'll be the guy on defense, a chance for him to get those sacks, to build those incentives. But the other thing is they need another piece, because if you start double teaming him, you don't have anybody else to come into that situation, that format, that he's not going to get those sacks. He's not going to get that top performance bonus on top of it, because they're going to double team him. So you need that other guy or one in the middle, or maybe Browning might be the other guy to help put that pressure on.
I have
as well.
A question then for both of you guys. Do you
want to do it after the break, since you heard Connor say we got to go to break, or do you think we can do it now?
I don't get a chance to hear him. It doesn't register.
Do you have a watch? Do you have a computer?
It says 2:41.
Yeah, what time do we normally get out? 2:40. Okay. Oh, 2:42 we get out? I thought we get out at 2:40.
About 2:40, 2:43.
Yeah. All right, well, it's 2:42 now, so we got to go.
I'll ask it next segment.
How about for football 50?
Sadly, when we get back, we're going to take a moment to acknowledge a sad occurrence that has deeply affected all of us here with Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And the Roc and Manuch Amber on tap. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber poured by Dos Equis. Arena Sports Grill open daily until 2 a.m. For their daily specials, head to arenasportsgrills.com. That's Arena Sports Grill in North Scottsdale.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I
was in a wreck. I need a check.
I
was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Get ready for the ultimate challenge. Sign up for the 100,000 Bracket Challenge powered by Wecopa Casino Resort. Head to win at wecopa.com and fill out your bracket. Predict 60 or more games correctly, and you could win a whopping $100,000. Predict 57 or more and take home $10,000. But that's not all. There are fantastic prizes after each round. So what are you waiting for? Fill out your bracket at win@wecopa.com today.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Day one, the hardest day. The day you hear,
this is a type of blood cancer.
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
To learn more and get help on day 2, day 28, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding a unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive.
What are you coming back with? Because I'm going to get right into the Wolfley thing.
National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Just come back with a clean. Just come back clean.
Council.
Appropriate song. We want to take a moment here to acknowledge a sad occurrence that has deeply affected us and many people here at the radio station. With heavy hearts, we want to share the news that someone very close to us has passed away. Craig Wolfley, Ron Wolfley's older brother, passed away today at the age of 66. This loss is going to be felt by many, and we want to extend our thoughts and condolences to those that are grieving. Craig has been a regular with Manuch and I for over 20 years. I think he came into the league about the same time you did, Manuch, right?
Yes, he was a year behind me.
You're behind you.
Yes. He was at Syracuse my rookie year, and then started playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the top offensive linemen that they've ever had.
Right.
And what a phenomenal color analyst.
Oh,
he'd been
best.
for many, many years and sounded exactly like Ron.
Because for those of you who don't know, Wolf was my partner for about 5 years. We did Saturdays for a while and Monday Night Football and all that stuff. And Craig would come on the show with us, and you really could not tell the difference between them and their voices. And when they came on together, it was just so much fun. So again, our thoughts and prayers go to Ron and his family, and as well as Craig's and his family. So and the entire sporting world, as I'm sure it'll start coming out. There's been a press release from Art Rooney II as well that you can see online.
Yeah, when I think of Craig, I just think of his, vivaciousness for the Steelers, for the way he broadcasts. And he told like it was. We'd ask him a lot of tough questions, but just his affinity, his love for the Steelers, his podcast that he had, and being that top broadcaster for many, many years. And they lost Dale Wolfley 2 years ago. The other younger brother was at West Virginia. And so it's been a rough go for the Wolfley family. So for Ron, and as you mentioned, Rock, the entire Wolfley family and friends of the Wolfleys, especially back there in Pittsburgh, we give them our thoughts and prayers most definitely with this very difficult time.
Saguaro Zone Saguaro High School. Matt Berry, you may know Matt Berry from ESPN. Well, he signed a multi-year contract today to continue his hosting duties with SportsCenter, as well as his studio and calling roles on college football and TGL as well. He joined ESPN back in 2013, and he now co-anchors the 2 p.m. Eastern weekday slot. And he's been doing college football Saturdays. He hosts the college football final, a local guy that I think is tremendous. He does such a good – he's a very likable talent on television.
I love how he gives props to Issue and
always
to Phoenix.
He
And
does,
you know what, you like that. Hey, my Sun Devils or this, not afraid to admit it.
Yeah.
And put it out there. And I think that's great about all of our alma maters, when you got that I mean, even Ohio. I mean, with a guy named Parker Navarro, guy I've trained, had a good year this last year, Rock. So you could tout your Bobcats.
A random fact of the day, during SNL's first season, it was just known as NBC's Saturday Night because ABC had a show called Saturday Night with Howard Cosell.
They did.
And when that show ended, NBC's show became Saturday Night Live. But that's why they still say live from New York. It's Saturday night to start every episode. That's your random fact of the day.
That's interesting how they have all that particular. Our random fact today is all you have to do is head to winatweekapod.com and fill out your bracket, predict 60 or more games correctly, and you can win a whopping $100,000, predict 57 or more, and take home $10,000 in prizes after each round. Plus, bet and watch the games at the new WKP Sportsbook at Weekapaw Casino, Arizona. We'll be there for the Final Four for our two $50,000 jumbo dice games at halftime at both games. Bookmark it now. Winatweekapaw.com. Winatweekapaw.com.
I'm just curious, Manuch. Did the coach signal to you that you were supposed to do that read?
I just quit.
Did you see your name on that
No,
read?
I just felt I would go it.
Who's been doing those reads for the last 2 weeks? Just him?
I just thought I'd take it.
But your name is not there. You have different reads. You are endorsing different companies. Why would you go off script?
It's because I did On This Day last week and
but that's
random fact last week as well.
Okay, but did they have?
I'm a conditioned athlete, man.
But they obviously not conditioned enough because you don't take direction well. Because that was Jimmy's. Yours was last hour and you missed it for Twin Peaks.
I didn't see. I don't see
Jimmy's
your name or my name.
That means I do it.
Oh,
Remember,
no,
I'm the driver. I do everything.
But I thought I'd give you a break there.
No, that's fine. But
Hey,
you did do a good job on that read.
Thank you. As a backup, I got to get my shots when I can, okay?
Yeah, but usually backups are called upon. They don't just come in.
Or there could be equipment breakdown and
but there was no issues at all. We were okay to go there on
I just coffee kicked in. I felt like doing it.
I'm staying out of this.
You moonwalk more than anybody.
No, man, I thought it was a hell of a read, man. Brought that energy to it. Got a lot of energy going today.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do a little football at 50. And here's my question that I was going to ask earlier, but we ran out of time. So now that we have time, so the Cardinals sign Sweat, and we've discussed that the entire show, and rightfully so. And we hope that they will sign maybe 2, maybe 3 more big-name free agents who can help this team. My question to you guys is, last week when the NFLPA released the list of how teams ranked for the players with almost 2,000 players participating in it, and the Cardinals ranked dead last, in your estimation, does that have any influence if a player's going to make a decision to come and play for the Cardinals?
It's part of it. I mean, I think a lot of them, you look at Sweat's got a Super Bowl ring now, right?
He does.
Okay, so now he's going to get paid. He's got $41 million guaranteed over the 4 years. So he's looking at an up-and-coming team. I got my ring. Okay, so now here's the team. I played for this coach. I like the defense. I love what they do. They're up-and-comers. So if he doesn't get a ring with the Cardinals, there's a chance, but he's already got the ring.
He's got the ring.
So he's going to get the money. So to your question, if there's guys out there that are looking to make that move that haven't got the ring yet, their best opportunity is they want to go to a team where they have a chance to win it all.
Are you saying the Cardinals do not?
Well, I think if you put enough money in front, but that's going to be difficult, Jimmy. It's going to be real difficult that the Cardinals go sign a top-notch guy unless they overpay him or give him more guaranteed money than the market would, just to entice him to come here and say, hey, look, we're up and coming. We got a chance versus a team that's look at what the moves they're making. You look at the LA Rams, Devontae Adams.
Sure.
So if there's guys looking, well, they only got Devontae Adams. He's still a pretty damn good receiver.
He is, yeah.
Got a hell of a quarterback. We got some other good receivers. Got a heck of a tight end. That team's got a chance to go somewhere. So you look at some of the other teams, that they see other moves going on. I think that influences them as well, too.
See, I don't think I can put Sweat in that category where J.J. Watt, Boomer Esiason, Emmitt Smith, all these guys that are at the tail end of their career, and this is their last stop.
No, he's only 27.
Yeah.
He's at the prime. He's at the prime of his career.
But I think that I still think, to your point, he got his ring. Now let's get paid.
Sure.
What else does he have to prove? He had an incredible Super Bowl with 2.5 sacks.
Yep.
And, he's got his ring. And I think that, now he can just sit back, and I'm sure he's been here before. What a great place to live. Arguably one of the nicest places in the country. And now he's got 74 million reasons to be here.
And here's the other thing too, Rock. He doesn't have to relearn a defense. He knows this defense. This is what they ran in Philadelphia. They're running it now. Now, Ross has added a few more tweaks to it.
Right.
But he knows the defense. So it's not as if it's a quarterback that goes, okay, I'm going from this team to this team, and I got to learn this and I got to learn that. I mean, so in the case of Geno Smith, you
going to Vegas.
He knows the offense.
He does.
Kind of, sort of. Now, Chip Kelly will tweak it, but I'm sure Pete Carroll said, look, we're going to be run-oriented. We're going to run. This is kind of the offense I want to run. So Geno knows that offense. Okay, so if you're going to a team that's familiar, and the Raiders might be, who knows, a year, 2, 3 years, or whatever. If you're familiar with it, you're getting paid, and you know that coach, and you know all the things around it.
Being comfortable.
Okay, so those are some other things. So in the case of DK Metcalf, he's going to Pittsburgh. If they keep Russell Wilson, he knows Russell. Mm-hmm. He knows this offense. He knows some of the things that they can do to enhance. He's got a chance. There's a team that goes to the playoffs, right? Seattle, reason why he probably wanted to get traded. Lockett's gone. Several guys are gone. They need a new quarterback. All the things that come in play when guys make their decisions. So if they're getting paid and got a chance to win it all, that's what you can hope, the best you can hope for. So I think those are some of the things that, as a lot of guys, you look at.
I just find it interesting because the Cardinals hadn't done really anything except re-sign guys that were up for new contracts that were already on the team until
Evan Brown, Beachum,
until
Browning.
You're right, until the sweat thing took place today. And I was I thought about a couple of weeks ago when that NFLPA list came out and they were the bottom of the basement. I just wondered if players, how players talk.
If apples to apples, and I'm getting paid relatively the same by one team that's a perennial winner, and versus the other team that's an up and comer, and I look at the coaching staff, I'm looking at all the other players, I'm looking at the offensive, defensive side. I'm looking at where do I fit into this entire situation. Yeah, it's all weighed out unless they give you the Godfather offer and you already got a ring, so to speak.
So the roster currently doesn't have a number 19. That's what he wore for the Philadelphia Eagles. So go out there and get that Cardinals 19. It's available. Hey, coming up in hour number three. We'll get in hour number 3. Tom Chambers will join us. We'll talk Suns. Plus, he's a big-time owner of a tequila, and he's going to be out at the Weekapaw Celebrity Spirits and Wine event in Scottsdale on Saturday. So we'll get him to talk about that a little bit. And then Cardinals receiver Frank Sanders, former receiver that is, he will join us as well. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
AutoZone. Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T.
But don't just take our word for it. It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power Charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Come visit the all-new Wekopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wekopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and a resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wekopa Casino Resort today. At Wekopa, we have the best of it all.
Craving tacos? There's one spot in town that everyone can't stop talking about. The Taco Spot. With mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors and a modern twist. It's no wonder they're the local favorite.
The Taco Spot has the best tacos I've ever had.
With locations opening all over Arizona, satisfying your cravings has never been easier. Come and experience the tacos to talk about. Enjoy handmade tortillas and fresh made-to-order meals that will leave your taste buds dancing. The Taco Spot, where every bite is a fiesta.
KTAR. So, guys, the reason why he hasn't been able to get on is the Bonneville thing keeps popping up, and it says sign in. He doesn't think he thinks so. Now,
And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, coming up in about 15 minutes, Rudy Carpenter, followed by Frank Sanders. But we turn our attention to the Phoenix Suns and the Wekopa Casino Resort Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival, which is presented by Lerner Road this Saturday at the Scottsdale Civic Center. And I remember one of the first times I had ever met our next guest, we were at a Buffalo Wild Wings. And I remember him sending me a shot of tequila. And since then, I think we've been friends ever since.
I think so. That's still the deal.
Now he has his own tequila company. Yeah. Tom Chambers joins us now here on ESPN 620. What's up, TC?
Yeah, but that was some rot gut just because I didn't like you very much, you know. I got some good tequila now, you know.
that was well, right? That was a bad well. It was cheap, but you do remember that, right? It was. I think we do. I remember that. So
absolutely. You know, one thing about you, you always took it like a man. Everything was put your way. You took it down. You know?
So I'm pretty excited to have you in this event. I'm part of this event as well. I mean, Roger Klein, we had Brie Garcia on earlier. There's all kinds of celebrities, Dusty Baker, Christy Kerr, and you. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in a tequila company.
Well, first of all, I love me some Dusty Baker and Christy Kerr and Roger Klein, and I'm excited to go out there and rub shoulders with them and hang out with them. But you know, I just have a friend, Rico, and he started this company, him and Jay. They got it going, and they wanted somebody that talks loud and is kind of obnoxious and, gets things going. But yeah, I've been a part of it now for, I think, going on 2 years. And we were kind of, in the embryonic stages of this thing. It's obviously, it's a, this grassroots deal. It just starts from the bottom, not a lot of money involved in it. But man, I'll tell you what, they did a great job of the bottle. It's won award after award after award. The tequila now is winning awards. We're now carried by, one of the best, the biggest, distributors there is in the world in Southern Glacier. So Alberts is taking us on. So we went from me sending you rock gut to all of a sudden we got some good stuff now, and you can find it in your local stores. So it's a cool thing. It's really good. It's really fun. I got a great group of partners involved in the company, and we've all put together really, really cool products.
So this is going to do better than you and K-Ray with Verve, right? I mean, this is doing better than that.
Well,
Remember that?
you had to bring that up, Rock.
I got involved in that too.
I did not know that BJ was going to go all pyramid scheme and eliminate people and get in trouble and all that kind of stuff. But I still drink Verve. Actually, it's a good product, but it kind of went sideways a little bit there.
Yes, it did. That's so funny. So, are you actually going to physically do the tasting and kind of break down the tequila and where it's from and how it's made in this VIP deal?
Well, why not? I mean, I got Cliff Notes version. I can always educate myself and figure out that it's in Johannesburg, and these agaves are like 4-pounders and they're 8 years old, and it's the best there is. It's all natural. It's organic. How good was that?
That's good. That was wow. You got it. You definitely got some Cliff Notes.
That's kind of how I roll. I can be educated and coached. You know what I'm saying?
but Rock never got any taste testing opportunities whatsoever as you guys are developing this tequila?
I got him in this event.
But so they're developing
he got me in the event. You know what? I haven't given him a bottle yet for because he's always so cheap with me. Yeah, I'll send him some more of that. I think it was I don't even know what that stuff was I sent you. I can't remember. I just said, give him the worst stuff you got. Send it on over there,
At least he sent you a box of hay a few years ago. What the heck, man?
You know what? See, I can be educated, and I can be coached, and you still call it a box of hay.
That was Manuch who called it a box of hay.
I learned. Manuch tell what Rock sent you. I mean,
you farmers, I don't know. So again, the Scottsdale Civic Center. You go to basically it's the 15th. That's Saturday. So we encourage everybody to come out. You can get tickets by going to the civiccenter.org page. It's great. And the VIP is what you want to get. Then you can actually get to meet Tom and be there for the 2 hours earlier and all the sampling. And it's really going to be a great time. So looking forward to that. All right, let's turn our attention
to wait 1 second. Did the fine print say that I need to do a shot with everybody who says I need to do a shot with them? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a connoisseur of sipping and swirling. I found that stuff, man. I don't do that swirling stuff like that.
I think this is it's worth the admission just to see how many shots you put down.
I'm gonna have a couple of big guys next to me so I don't tip over. When I hit the ground, it's not a pretty thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's good stuff. All right. Let's turn attention. Unfortunately for the Suns, they got a game tonight. I know you're working. We appreciate you getting us on a game day. Do you see the light at the end of the tunnel? Do you think that things are going to start kind of maybe this last so many games that they can turn something around and maybe sneak into this playoff?
Well, I'll tell you what, the light at the end of the tunnel is the Dallas Mavericks have just fallen apart. Luka goes away. Anthony Davis, plays 3 quarters of one game and they looked marvelous. He got hurt. He's out maybe for the whole season. And then obviously Kyrie Irving got hurt. So because they're faltering so horribly, the Suns don't have to be perfect to get in. They can just, play and play. I think if they can play well, yes, 100%. It's like all season long we've been waiting for this moment. And Devin Booker a couple weeks ago said, at some point you got to draw a line in the sand and say, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I mean, they have the talent, the skill to go out there and beat anybody in the NBA. So hopefully it starts now.
Tom, does it just a matter of just outscoring people at this point because they're giving up on average 123 points per game, win, lose, or draw? Turnovers were down a little bit the other night, but that seems to be their nemesis and Achilles heel as well.
Well, the defense has to be there. I mean, at least you have to be precise and be able to get stops when you need to get stops. And they've found ways to do that in spurts, and they've been really good in spurts, where they'll have an opponent do 17 points in a quarter, 20 points in a quarter, but then they'll have a 44-point quarter for the opponent. So it's got to be more consistent, 48 minutes more of consistent defense. And when you're playing really tough defense, you're not turning the ball over because you're running downhill, you're scoring, you're getting easy baskets, you're getting points in the paint. So things really, really good things happen for this team when they are playing defense. They know it, we know it, we all know it. So hopefully they just get after it and try and stop him tonight. Obviously, with Memphis and Ja and all that, he's a load because he's always going downhill and trying to dunk on everybody. But they're capable of beating this team. They've had good games against them in the past. So hopefully they get another one.
So what encouraged you the most with, they got 2 more on the road, then you got the 6-game homestand in order for this team to make it literally through the back door of the play-in tournament?
Well, I don't know what that number is going to be, but I do know this: they can't just coast in because Portland's right on their butts, and they don't want to give this opportunity to somebody behind them. They want to look up. They don't want to look back and worry about what's happening behind them. So they're going to have to win some games. I mean, if they win 3/4 of their games, they'll probably be in my opinion. But man, I'll tell you what, I want to win. More than that, I want to just get on a roll and have a 10-game win streak or 14-game win streak or something like that. That's what would be really good for this team. Get their psyche going and get their mental toughness going, and get on page defensively too, because some good things have been happening.
Tom Chambers is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So my question is, no Bradley Beal tonight. It's kind of like load management with his sore calf. And my question to you then, Tom, have you ever had a calf issue like that? And if so, how difficult is it to manage it?
Well, it's just basically for him giving him some rest, going back to back. That's what the NBA does these days. They, if somebody's got a sprained eyelash, it seems like they can't play back to back for, half the season, so I that's just what they do now. Obviously a strained calf, it can pull, it can get bad. It's a hamstring, the same kind of thing. So you don't want to mess with that. But Bradley's been good, but this team's been good when Bradley hasn't played too. They've stepped up. They've done a nice job. That's when Colin Gillespie stepped in and had a tremendous game. So I expect people to step up and play well. The Suns certainly have enough people. They haven't even utilized, Ryan Dunn as of late, but I love what Colin's done when he's getting the opportunity. Bobo's playing well. So they've certainly got enough people, and Grayson Allen can play 35 minutes a game and be tremendous. So it stinks that, we haven't been whole for the most part, but it's better to be able to be whole when we get to that play-in position.
All right, that's my follow-up question then, because you have Memphis. You have maybe the most difficult closing schedule in the NBA, but you just referenced with the Mavericks, with all of their injury issues, they only had 7 guys available on Sunday. They look like the team that is going to teeter and fall. But with the type of schedule, do you look ahead as a player, or do you just have to focus first game, then the next game? That's it. That is your focus.
Well, it has to be, even break it down more than that. I'd be possession by possession and quarter by quarter, because they have lapses where they think, okay, we're going to be able to, outscore this team 20 points in the fourth quarter and win, which they have done. But don't put it off until the last quarter. I can go out there and put somebody away early, which this team has not done all season long. I think they may have had 2 blowouts the entire season. So go out there, jump on a team. Do not allow them to have confidence, because this Suns team seems to let everybody else have confidence. And when an NBA player gets their confidence rolling, it's tough to shut them down. So then it makes for a difficult game. So they've got to go out there and break it down and win every single quarter and every single possession, and then they'll have some success.
Tom, we'll see you on Saturday, buddy. Thanks for the time today, especially on game day.
All right. Hopefully it's not raining on us.
We'll be fine. No rain.
Right.
Tequila's okay in the rain.
It'll warm us up.
Exactly. All right. We'll see you on Saturday. That's Tom Chambers joining us. The Week of Paw Casino Resort Celebrity Wine and Spirits Festival, which is presented by Lerner and Rowe. It's this Saturday at Scottsdale Civic Center. General admission tickets $50. VIP is only $100. They just announced today that Mike Love of the Beach Boys is going to be attending.
Whoa. Very nice.
You got like Dusty Baker. You have all kinds of big time names, as we talked about with him. And we had Brie Garcia in from the Garcia twins. She's got a wine, and a lot of TV and movie stars and things like that that'll be there. So it's going to be a really cool event. Looking forward to it. Tickets are limited. It's a limited event, so you got to go to civiccenterlive.org to get tickets, and you can sign up there if you want to be part of Tom Chambers tasting. I think that'll be funny. If he doesn't sip when he's doing his tastings and he is doing shots, this could be the most entertaining festival I've ever been to. It'd be probably even better than a Dead show. So anyway, we'll get into that again later in the week. We'll even have some tickets to give away as well. But next, Rudy Carpenter, his company, he has a company that he's an agent. Of course, he's a former NFL quarterback, played at Arizona State. He had DK Metcalf, who went to the Steelers. We'll talk to him about that, get his take on all the quarterbacks that are going back and forth today. So that's all coming up next on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on ESPN 620.
Get ready. March Mania is heating up, and we've teamed up with WKP Sports at the beautiful Weekapaw Casino Resort. We're hosting a massive $100,000 bracket contest. Plus, we're hosting a huge Final Four event, $100 props and squares, and 50 lucky people will roll the jumbo dice for a shot at $50,000. Get all the details on our website, rockandmanuch.com, at Weekapaw Casino and Resort.
Every year, millions of pets go missing, leaving families heartbroken. If you lose or find a pet, Petco Love Lost is here to help. Our free, easy-to-use platform uses photo matching technology across multiple media platforms to bring lost pets home. Just upload a photo and quickly search the largest national lost and found pet database. Let's unite to reunite, because every lost pet deserves to find their way home. Register today at petcolovelost.org.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at g2gbar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Arena Sports Grill in Scottsdale on Bell Road is your home for billiards, poker, and trivia. And the Roc and Manuch Amber on tap. Stop by today and experience top sports viewing, off-track betting, daily specials, and ice-cold Roc and Manuch Amber poured by Dos Equis. Arena Sports Grill open daily until 2 a.m. For their daily specials, head to arenasportsgrills.com. That's Arena Sports Grill in North Scottsdale.
I'm the threat that's already inside the house. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. You can't call the cops on me. You can't even see me. I'm the threat of family fire. And as long as your guns aren't stored securely, I'll be there. Protect your family. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter, who went 3-0 against that team in Tucson.
Deep ball again by Rudy Carpenter. He reads it in zone coverage, gets behind the safety.
Rudy Carpenter now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, very busy weekend, very busy day in the National Football League. We saw a few quarterbacks being moved, and one is Justin Fields to the Jets. The other is Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. And our quarterback, Rudy Carpenter, joins us now on the Right Soda guest line. Rudy, of those two that I just mentioned, which of the two do you think will have a bigger impact or the most impact?
Oh, man, that's a tough question. I mean, there's been so many roster changes for Seattle. I thought, before all of those roster changes, when they had DK or Tyler Lockett or some of the other guys they had, they still had some weapons, right? But I don't know. I think my viewpoint is the quarterback position is just so dependent on the players around you and the roster around you. And I think the New York Jets are just still a long ways away from having a roster that can, really compete at a high level. And, to a certain extent, I hate to say that because the general manager for the New York Jets is Scottsdale, former Chaparral High quarterback Darren Muji.
Yes.
He's a good friend of mine.
With Geno going to the Las Vegas Raiders, how do you see that playing out with that team? I mean, they've got a good core group of receivers, but is it the running game? Is the defense? As he re-engages with one Pete Carroll?
Yeah, I think, between Justin Fields or Geno Smith or, Sam Darnold, I think overall Geno's probably in the best situation. I think the Raiders are much closer to being competitive and to being relevant and to making a difference, than the Jets or the Seahawks right now. So, look, I think ultimately Pete Carroll, when you take a new job and you go into a new place, it's important to establish the new culture, to establish the new way you're going to do things. And if you want to even have a chance to be competitive, you obviously have to have a good quarterback, right? But I think Pete feels very comfortable about Geno Smith and very comfortable with who he is as a leader, as a team captain, as a guy who has been there and done that with Pete. And so I think Pete probably views it as, hey, this is going to be an easy transition for Geno to come here. It's going to be smooth. But also, I know this is a guy who understands how I want a team to operate, how I want a team to move. And he's going to be able to exemplify that stuff in the locker room with the players, when we as coaches aren't always available to do that.
Rudy, I think another very impactful move that happened this weekend, DK Metcalf, who your group represents. Number one, I got a couple questions. You can answer them one way or the other. Was Russell Wilson a big part of trying to get his former teammate there? And talk about impact to having him, Pickens, and Jefferson and the fine tight end to incorporate, I should say, enhance that offense has also got to be a big boost.
Well, look, I don't really know that the Steelers were 100% certain that Russell Wilson was even going to be their guy. Obviously, DK Metcalf is a great player. He's a huge weapon, like literally, figurative, and literally. So yeah, Russell Wilson is obviously going to be happy and be excited with DK Metcalf as his new teammate and a guy to throw to. But I think late in the process, the Steelers were still trying to figure out exactly what they wanted to do in regards to Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So it wasn't like they, were consulting with Russell Wilson, like, maybe the Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams situation or other situations like that in the past. But this is a situation where Mike Tomlin has really liked DK Metcalf since the beginning. Obviously that's an offense that has to get more explosive. And when Russell Wilson can still play. Now you got George Pickens, who, by the way, I think needs to grow and mature a little bit. And regardless of what people think they know about DK, he's a very hard worker. He's a great guy in the locker room. He'll be able to help George Pickens develop and become not just the player, but the professional that he needs to be. And with DK Metcalf and George Pickens and now Najee in the backfield, and deep breath, feeling good that, hey, I'm going into OTAs, I'm going into the off season, I'm going into training camp as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he'll probably play better because of that as well.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Rudy, you operate now as an agent in the company that you work for. When this day begins, are you sitting at your desk with a headset on, answering call after call? I'm just kind of curious what it's like for a person like yourself.
Yeah, I don't mean to flex on anybody because that's absolutely not what I'm doing. I just try to be.
Go ahead and flex, Rudy. Go ahead, man. Flex for us.
I am not a certified agent, and that's on purpose. I own the company in which we hire certified agents. Of course, within your agency, you have the agents that represent players for their contracts. You have marketing agents that handle their endorsements and off-field deals or income that could possibly, come in. You have people that just do player services stuff and they help with travel and vacations and just a bunch of different stuff. There's, obviously different departments. From my perspective, I'm very much the strategic person that sits back with our agents, understanding which players we have, which players are up for a contract. Is it a free agent contract? Is it a restricted free agent? Is it an exclusive rights free agent? There's a bunch of different things that really matter and how you can negotiate. In DK Metcalf's situation, he had a year remaining on his contract with no guaranteed money. So in that situation, we had to get permission from the Seattle Seahawks to go speak with other teams. Obviously, if a team was going to trade for DK Metcalf and give up draft assets, they obviously wanted to know that he was going to be able and be willing to sign a long-term deal. And so that team obviously had to know, like, hey, if we are going to trade, are we going to be able to get an extension done, or is he going to be sitting out like Hassan Reddick, right? And you obviously can't have that. So, trying the Seahawks giving permission, working out a contract extension, and then hoping that the Steelers and the Seahawks can come together on a package of picks that everybody feels good about. It's a nerve-wracking time a little bit for everybody, but I will tell you this in the grand scheme of things. If anybody believes that these deals are happening today, that's insane. The vast majority, which is totally tampering, by the way, but the vast majority of these free agent contracts, they're getting hammered out. They're getting negotiated. The table is being set at the NFL Combine. If it's with a new team, if the player is going back to the old team, and even if he's not going back to the old team, those contract extension talks have been going on probably since, last year's training camp, where, as an agent, you're checking in with the front office and they're checking in with you, gauging the temperature. Could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? Could it be that? How about this? Oh, hey, he's having a great year. DK started off the year unbelievable this year. Price tag going up, right? And so, but yes, I mean, a lot of these free agent deals with a player going to a new team, especially, I mean, a lot of that really, 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 shapes up and takes form at the NFL Combine, sometimes even as early as the Senior Bowl.
Rudy, if you can't show your hand on this, I'm just curious how it works in regards to, it seems like the Rappaports and the Schechters get the information before the teams actually get the information. Are they on your payroll or how did they get the information before everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, look, of course, both sides use it, right?
Yeah.
In a situation, guys that we represent, you're going to a Pete Thamel, you're going to a Adam Schefter, you're going to a Ian Rappaport, you're going to these guys and saying, hey, we're getting out of here. We requested a trade today. And of course they're going to run and go put that out. And then the team is going to come back and say, oh yeah, we've, through those guys, we've given them, they can go seek out a trade, but you better believe we're asking for a first and a third round pick. Kind of letting everybody know, like, if anybody is interested in this is kind of what we want. It's the way of, negotiating before so there's no tampering, and before the teams or two sides have really even talked about, yes, we'll give you permission to go seek this trade. But at the end of the day, it's really just it's kind of like a handshake deal with all of us, which is, hey, Ian, I'm going to give you this. Hey, Adam, I'm going to give you this. Hey, Pete Thamel, I'm going to give you this. And, there's times where we need stuff from them, right? We would like to know information that they have when they talk to their inside sources on teams or whatever it may be. And so it's just kind of like I did one for you, you did one for me, and we all just keep a tally and go back and forth with each other.
I think it's so fascinating.
It is.
Rudy, thanks, man. This is a great day to talk to you. So appreciate you, man. Thanks for the time.
All right, guys. Thanks.
It's Rudy Carpenter, busy today as free agency has gotten started, at least the offseason officially has begun.
Whatever happened to, I'm just going to call you and make an offer? All that stuff has changed dramatically.
They're using each other.
Yeah,
I bet some of these guys are getting paid on the side. They have to be.
Oh, there's something going on.
There's got to be. These guys.
Scratch my back, I'll scratch your back.
That's what he said.
And here's an extra $50,000.
Rudy's brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team. at the largest towing company in the state. Of course, that's All City Towing. They're hiring all positions. Everything's up on their website. Just go to allcitytowing.com. That's allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move. You're listening to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
It's now time for your Roc Manuch with Jimmy B's bottom of the hour local Phoenix ESPN 620 Sports Center update, sponsored by Weekapaw Casino Resort. I'm Jackson Groff. The Arizona Cardinals have reached an agreement with former Philadelphia Eagles pass rusher Josh Sweat. The contract is a 4-year deal worth $76.4 million, including $41 million of guaranteed money. Sweat had an unbelievable performance in the Super Bowl victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, where he had 2.5 sacks, 6 quarterback pressures in the Eagles' Super Bowl victory. Get ready for a huge $100,000 bracket contest happening now at winatweekapaw.com. Don't miss out on your chance to win big and mark your calendars. Join us for our giant Final Four event at WKP Sportsbook. It's free to attend. Enjoy $100 prop bets, $100 squares, and don't miss out on the halftime contest where 25 lucky contestants will have a chance to win $50,000. Frank Sanders next.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Turner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Have you been arrested for something you didn't do? When your liberty is on the line, you need an aggressive, experienced attorney to defend your rights. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is the firm you can trust with your freedom. Our criminal defense attorneys have represented thousands of clients across the state. And with our affordable payment plans, you can get the defense you need immediately. If you've been wrongly charged with a crime, time is not on your side. Call Lerner & Rowe today for a free consultation. We're available to help you 24/7.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Join us at Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf to test drive the new King G440 Woods and Irons. The new G440 driver delivers faster ball speeds along with Ping's game-changing forgiveness.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Jax, did you post or your call?
Distance and control with a player-style look. Book your fitting in-store or online. Van's Golf
Jax,
Shops by
did you
Worldwide
post
Golf,
our It's Your Call? He forgot.
So, and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Let's put it up for crying out loud.
Get ready for Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's annual Twin Peaks bracket contest at fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. With the guys now on ESPN 620, they've stepped up the stakes to a massive $10,000 purse. Tune in daily from 1 to 4 as the guys broadcast throughout the tournament from all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. It's another March fever at Twin Peaks, and it's your chance to win cash and incredible prizes at fanpick'em.com. Don't miss out on all the action.
Get ready for the ultimate challenge. Sign up for the 100,000 Bracket Challenge powered by Weekapaw Casino Resort. Head to win@weekapaw.com and fill out your bracket. Predict 60 or more games correctly, and you could win a whopping $100,000. Predict 57 or more and take home $10,000. But that's not all. There are fantastic prizes after each round. So what are you waiting for? Fill out your bracket at win@weekapaw.com today.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
Touchdown, Auburn! Sanders caught it! Touchdown, Auburn! Frank Sanders from Nick. Auburn's ahead.
Frank Sanders joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. right here on ESPN 620.
All right. The one, the only, Frank Sanders now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Josh Sweat signs a 4-year deal with the Cardinals. What do you think about that, big fella?
You know what? After watching him play in the Super Bowl, the way he went about his business, that's a great decision by the Arizona Cardinals. Of course, JG got to be happy about that. You get another guy on the defensive line that can create pressure. That's exactly what we needed last year. And coming down the stretch, we didn't have all our dogs like we needed them to, but to get some fresh legs and a dog like him, that'd be good. That'd be good for the defense.
Frank, I was talking about that. That'd be good. The next piece of that'd be another, I would say top defensive lineman to push that pocket to stop the run, because they pushed the pocket the entire game with only 4 guys and Josh Sweat coming off the edge.
You're absolutely right. We always talk about this league being a copycat league, and if you watched exactly what it took in order, again, what it took to get to the quarterback of that level and caliber and Patrick Mahomes to shut him down, to add another piece to the puzzle to what can make this defense be better. I mean, that was a good decision and a good pickup.
How difficult that for a receiver, I know for a quarterback, when you're constantly dropping 7 into coverage and putting pressure with 4 guys, it's tough for a quarterback. Obviously, we saw Patrick Mahomes, as you alluded to, but how about for a receiver running the adjustments and running into not only you, but maybe somebody else being double covered or zones covered in every spot on the field?
You know what? Honestly, they eat up all the windows. One of the funny things that I always kind of talk about is the fact that a cover 2 has been a cover 2 since Little League. A cover 3 has been a cover 3 since Little League, and so on and so on. And the defenses in every zone, every defense has a zone or a zone window that they have to man. But when you drop guys back, all 7 guys are able to drop back. They're covering up those windows, and it's making the precision of the quarterback to be that much more accurate. It's making the receiver routes be that much more. There has to be much more on timing. And if it doesn't match, you're going to find yourself doing what Patrick Mahomes was doing, which is patting the ball, waiting for guys to get open, and it turns into more of a scramble drill. And to be able to get 4 guys, just to put 4 guys to pressure that quarterback and to stop the run and the pass, I mean, it makes the game that much more easy for the defense.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So my question then is back to where you were discussing with Manuch on the defensive line. There's not a Jalen Carter out there. So how do you find 1 or 2 fat guys that you can trust enough to put on that defensive line?
You know what? The beauty of this is that the fat guys are actually becoming more athletic. And the unique part about that, Jimmy B, is that they're moving guys around. So there's really not just like a defensive tackle per se. Jalen Carter's a defensive tackle, but he's fast enough and elusive enough to be on the outside just as well. And so the way the guys are running these defensive packages now, is there a defensive tackle? You might find 2 or 3 guys in the NFL that are big enough, that 360, 350, 3-something kind of guy that can kind of plug a hole. But the way they move these guys around, the money that they're paying them is making these guys become versatile in their positions. The quarterback himself is not just a quarterback. He has to run, throw, pass. He has to wipe down guys' faces. He has to make sure the water's cold. I mean, look, these guys, you don't get a pass on just being one position right now. And I think the guy like we talked about a week ago, Travis Hunter, look at him. You can't just be just one way. And I think the money they're paying these guys are requiring these guys to be more than just one thing. So, again, good luck with finding a guy that you can plug the middle with, but it's more important to get guys that you can use that to be versatile, that you can really kind of get after that quarterback, because the quarterbacks that are in the NFL right now, Rock, those suckers are just as athletic as any person on the football field.
How about a guy like Ty Robinson, the kid out of the rookie coming out of Nebraska, 6'7", 300 pounds, ran a 4.85 40. He's a tackle. He's one of those guys, maybe at number 16. He might be your guy to complement what you're saying there, Frank.
Oh, without a doubt. Listen to those numbers, man, at 6'7". God dang. This is like
big dude.
You know what I mean? And everything's changing. Victor Biombi, he's 7'7", 7'6". In the NBA, that's just like an anomaly. But with all the athleticism and all the skills of Kevin Durant, shot making and ability to handle the ball, that's basketball. Look at football. The quarterback's running, throwing, taking on linebackers and tackle drills and things like that. It's just the athletes of the day is requiring they have the ability to be as mobile and as pliable as you want them to be. You just got to have the creativity to do it. The Cardinals, we do need another guy, some more guys on the defensive front. I agree with you on that, Jimmy B. But you can just kind of hit or miss as long as the defensive coordinator or the offense coordinator knows what to do with those particular tools.
Frank, how much of this deal with Josh Sweat was his knowing the defense, knowing Coach Gannon, or was it all about the money? He got his ring. Now it's time to get paid and play for a few more years and retire.
Let's hope that the last part was almost like a dramatic effect, right? Let's hope I mean, he's right. You're right, Rock. You're right on point.
Got to be honest.
It's got to be honest, right? He's leaving from the 7th NFLPA team in the country to come to the 32nd, but he knows JG. The money's good. He's got his ring. Please come here and be the dog you was there. Please come to the Cardinals and have that same tenacity and want and drive to make these other guys want it. But, Rock, you're absolutely right, man. We could have played some nice dramatic effect music, man, in the background and had a glass of wine and talked this over and just tried to figure it out, because it's not impossible to think that, because once you get the ring, are you still hungry? You still got a little more bite in you and fighting you. He's a young cat, so hopefully with JG, he'll have that. He'll still bring that. He'll bring that energy.
Frank, a couple receivers on the move. DK Metcalf getting traded, going to get paid as well, going to Pittsburgh. That helps that immensely. And then how about Devontae Adams? The Rams picking him up in free agency. Looks like Cooper Kupp is probably at this point going to get released. So Devontae Adams helps that Rams team, helps the NFC conference, and helps the Rams build even more so now that Matthew Stafford's going to stick around.
Look, the Rams just put everyone on notice in the NFC in this division right now.
Sure
they
did.
Just put everyone back on notice. They went one year with no one being fearful. Now they got God dang, who is this team? The Rams are back in play now at a high level. I mean, Devontae Adams, just what they were already doing offensively with McVay and Puka Nacua and Cooper, and just the ability to what they were doing offensively to add Devontae is just another weapon. And not just a little weapon, a great weapon. And so that's just something that, look, LA put everybody back on notice, and I think they're going to be the team to beat right now for the Cardinals. And they have to figure it out, how to match that energy. We need some energy just like that. We need more players like a Sweat. We need a Higgins. We need name guys to come into the Cardinals organization to change the mindset, fan base, and also to change the locker room and what needs to happen emotionally and mentally to make this team, to push this team to the next level.
Frank, they still have plenty of money to work with, right?
I'm available.
You'd give them the hometown discount, though, would you not?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, based upon my NFLPA rep and Drew Rosenhaus, they will not allow me to take less than the 20 I'm supposed to take.
I tell these guys that all the time. You'd go out there for a Mars bar and apple, wouldn't you, if you had to?
Yeah, I'm gonna need Popeyes and some tequila.
I love Popeyes. How about a year's supply of Popeyes and tequila, right?
They could get me, brother. They could get me for that one.
Good stuff. Frank, have a good week, buddy. We'll talk to you next.
All right, guys, man. Love you guys.
Love you too. Frank Sanders joining us as he does each and every Monday. If we had a little bit more time, I would have asked him about his who he thinks is going to win the Players' Championship this weekend at TBC Sawgrass. So a great non-major, but major, it feels like anyway.
That's
so
a great tournament.
We'll get into that a little bit later in the week. Our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day, which we're going to have the results coming here in just a moment, as State 48 Roofing has been quite busy because of the a little bit of rain we got over the weekend. Who would be your MVP pick today? Is it SGA? Is it Jokic? Is it Giannis or Tatum? Those are your four choices. You can head over to rockandmanuch.com. You're going to hear from Louis Riddick next on his thoughts on Josh Sweat. That's our one call from Lerner Row as we continue from the studios of ESPN 620.
Craving tacos? There's one spot in town that everyone can't stop talking about. The Taco Spot. With mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors and a modern twist. It's no wonder they're the local favorite.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I think it's great. It's an awesome trade. They get a 5th-round pick, too. Cleveland's just idiots. They're just trying to have more quarterbacks that play under their roster than any other team. Because you can make it. There's like T-shirts in Cleveland. You know, all the quarterbacks that have played since Tim Couch. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, absolutely. It's funny.
Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? It's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Come visit the all-new Weekopaw Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Weekopaw offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and a resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Weekopaw Casino Resort today. At Weekopaw, we have the best of it all.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MBD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents, and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Multivitamins are your partners in health. Their nutrients are key to your daily well-being, especially if you're planning to become pregnant. A multivitamin rich in folic acid can help you have a healthier pregnancy and prevent birth defects. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of daily vitamins with folic acid. To get your free vitamins, go to azdhs.gov/PowerMe A2Z.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
As you age, you may have questions about finding transportation, healthy meals, or other services around your home and in your community. And the Elder Care Locator has the answers at 1-800-677-1116. Our caring advisors can connect you to trustworthy local experts and the support you need to age well at home. Real people, real assistance, and real connections are just a phone call away with the Elder Care Locator. 1-800-677-1116.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Washington tried that a little bit. They flirted with Milton Williams and Josh Sweat. Right? That was flirted with. Kinlaw. They got Kinlaw instead.
That 3-year, $45 million deal.
Sweat's going to be one of the best signings of free agency.
Yeah.
Josh Sweat can rush the passer. Whoever gets him, the dude's just a bona fide pass rusher.
Go to Detroit.
He's not going to Detroit. He went to Phoenix. He's here. And he is going to make a big impact on this Cardinal team. 4-year deal. What was it? How much was it guaranteed? 40-something?
It was
$6 million. Wow. 4-year, $41 million guarantee. That's the sign there is the $41 million guarantee. You know, and he got, Browning, Baron Browning signed over the week, re-signed, I should say, over the weekend. He had a solid year. I think he's an up-and-comer coming from Denver when they traded for him. And then Josh Sweat. But, he's not the end-all, be-all. They need some more help on that defensive line if they want to take the next step, get into the playoffs.
All right, Lerner Row one call is brought to you by Lerner Row. Interact, need a check, make one call. You know the number, 602-977-1900, and always at lernerrow.com. Their big charity golf tournament coming up on April 25th at McCormick Ranch. You can go to lernerrowgivesback.com. All right, here's what's on tap, brought to you by the Roc and Manuch Amber, which is brewed by Dos Equis at a bar near you, or as Jimmy would say, refreshment stand. 4 o'clock. It's coming up here in just about 14 minutes. You got Suns at Grizzlies. Gotta love the time change.
It's great.
I mean, for us,
I'm ready.
I mean, I know there's people that have to work on the East Coast and they have to get up earlier now, an hour. That sucks. I feel sorry for you. But for those of us that like doing refreshment stand happy hour and be able to watch the Suns, you got Grizzlies Suns on AZ Family 3 TV, but you can hear it on Arizona Sports 98.7. Tomorrow, Royals and Diamondbacks, 12:10 start. ASU, Kansas State, Big 12 championship, or I should say tournament, not championship. Hopefully we can say that. You'll be able to hear that here starting at 3:30 tomorrow on ESPN 620, and it'll be on ESPN Plus. And then looking ahead on Wednesday, The D-backs and Athletics will be on TV. A little afternoon delight there, 12 o'clock, dbacks.tv or Cox Channel 34. Suns are at the Rockets on 98.7 and 3 TV. That's at 4 o'clock. And Grand Canyon, UT Arlington, the WAC tournament on ESPN Plus at 8:30.
All right, guys, our State 40 Roofing. It's your call question of the day for a free quote, repair, or installation. Head to state40roofing.com and follow them on social media by searching hashtag Sexy Roof Status. Again, just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Who would be your NBA MVP pick as of today? Is it SGA of OKC? Is it the Joker out of Denver? Is it Giannis out of Milwaukee? Or is it Jason Tatum? Jimmy, what kind of results we got over there? Who's the leader of the pack right now?
Ironically enough, I wonder if these people that have voted even follow the NBA because the Joker, Nikola Jokic, 100% so far. Goose eggs for SGA, goose eggs for Giannis, goose eggs for Jason Tatum.
I'm one of those guys. I do watch the NBA, and I got Jokic. What he did on Friday to the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, SGA, you don't get to see him much. That's the challenge.
Yes.
For the first time, I saw him do a presser yesterday.
Okay.
And I was so impressed. He kind of had a little Michael Jordan in him, the way he spoke. Very articulate and just very good, standing up in front of everybody answering questions, which I have not known a lot about him other than he can score and he's averaging 32 points a game.
Yeah.
But it's going to be tough. I would love to see him win, but I do think it's going to be more of a popularity vote. What's Jokic got? 2 MVPs already?
He does.
So, I think he's
the
going to get
question will be like what they have done in the past where you could have given the MVP to LeBron James like for 10 years in a row.
Very true.
You could have given the MVP to Michael Jordan 10 years in a row, but they always take it away and give it to somebody else.
I'll give you a case and example is when Steve Nash should have won his third MVP, they gave it to Dirk.
I remember that.
Because Dirk had a good year, but we're like, wait a second. Nash enhanced his numbers.
He did.
Now, Dirk took that team to the NBA title. Yes. I get all that.
But the vote is before the title.
Yeah, and I thought we all went, wait a second. Okay, what? Oh, so Steve can't have 3 in a row?
Yeah.
That you got to go to Dirk. And to your point, Jimmy, it's almost like, well, okay, since the Joker's got 2, SGA, new kid on the scene, new kid on the block, carrying the team. We all get it.
He is, yeah.
But who's in front of us? Who's that guy that's in front of us more so than SGA?
And that is
the Joker. Yep. But what he does is phenomenal.
He's the best player on the planet.
He is. What he does for that team.
Yes.
That team continues. And I guess, what do they always say? If you removed one of them from their team, who would be missed the most? So you said, well, probably the Joker would be missing most. SGA, there's probably guys that could probably fill in, not like him per se, but I don't know. I just watched the Joker in that game Friday night to see the triple-double, 30-plus, 20-plus, 20-plus was, you go, damn. That he hasn't missed a beat.
That's all that you can do, and that's a great way to sum it up, Manuch. Damn.
Yeah.
It is. Because he does it every night. Every night.
Yeah, and he doesn't miss a beat. There's never been a co-MVP in the NBA, Jimmy? Has there ever been?
I would have to go back and look. I don't really remember. I know that they were considering when it was Magic and Bird. They considered co-MVPs, but Bird ended up winning those MVPs.
And I remember when Michael Jordan was winning his MVPs, he was not only one of the top offensive guys, he was the top defensive player in the NBA, which separated him from whomever.
Yeah. You remember Charles Barkley won it one year, and everybody thought, well, Jordan should. No, that goes back to what we were just discussing. Oh, we could give it to him for 10 years. No, we're going to give it to Chuck.
Hey, next week, our bracket challenge week, and we're running our contest once again at fanpick'em.com. Thanks to Twin Peaks, Bud Light, and Neutral. It's a massive $10,000 purse, multiple levels of prizes. We'll broadcast throughout the tournament at all 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations. And it's another March fever at Twin Peaks, thanks to Bud Light and Neutral. That's fanpick'em.com. You can go to rockandmanuch.com to see all of our appearances, all our live broadcasts. So looking forward to that. So we've teamed up, got a couple brackets that you're going to be able to get in to win some cash here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on. You get to the 4-letter network. You can't just do one bracket.
No.
We got to do 2.
Yeah.
Right? That's how big we've got.
And with the what would you call it, parity in the in college basketball this year? Look, especially top 10, top 15.
In my estimation, there are roughly 10 to 12 teams who could win it all.
Thank you, NIL, as far as that's concerned.
That's a great
And
point.
then clearly, I think you got to say Auburn and Duke have kind of separated themselves.
A
Would you
little
say?
bit. I would say a little bit because Alabama just beat Auburn.
I know.
Okay. And Duke has had issues early in the season, but they are playing much better now.
You know, the other thing too was interesting. We had Scott Spreitzer on Friday talking about that game in particular. He said, look, Bama can score, but all of a sudden they're starting to play better defense. So remember he talked about, the spread, and we're like, well, gosh, Auburn really pretty much handled them. He said, well, Bama had that fall. Remember they lost 2 out of 3 games?
They did.
So, but they started to get it together. Now, you go into overtime, you get a last-second shot.
Right.
But those games, when you think of those kind of people, can go both ways. I mean, look at the Duke-North Carolina game. They're all basically tied up at halftime. And then Duke pulls away there in North Carolina. But I think that we'll be excited to see that Final Four. Is it going to be chalk? Is it going to be the top seeds? Is it going to be that 5th seed, that 6th seed? Is it going to be that 12th seed?
I'm just telling
that
you.
happens to having more experienced guys than the guys that they're playing against.
Don't sleep on the Houston Cougars. I'm just saying that right now.
Shocker.
And I know. Oh,
really?
I know.
I mean, they do? They new team? They got players?
Because nobody sees them.
How do you figure?
They don't.
They're number 1 team in the Big 12.
I know that. I know what they are, but they don't get the same sort of pub that Alabama, Auburn, Duke get
because they're SEC.
Because they're the Big 12 and they're in Houston.
Well, I mean,
and
they've
play on
been
a
sleeping
different
on them,
time
Jimmy.
zone.
They've been in the hunt the entire year.
Everybody's been talking about them. It's been the theme.
No, we have.
No,
I'm not fans.
Well,
fans don't know
talk,
them that well.
But the talking heads out there are all over.
Well, that's us.
Well, then people are.
Did you just go out on a limb again there, Jimmy?
Damn straight I did.
Houston, a sleeper in the NCAA.
Don't sleep.
Dude, I can't wait to see your bracket. We're going to have to do some side bets.
Okay.
Jeez.
What about St. John's there, Jimmy B?
St. John's is going to be trouble for a lot of teams. They play sensational defense, but if they run into a really good shooting team, they'll get beat. They don't shoot it that well.
You know what? It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun to see some of them. But that sleeper, that so-called super's got it. Can a 10 or a 12? And we've seen it before.
We've seen it happen.
We've seen it happen.
Here's another team. Don't sleep on BYU.
The shooters of BYU.
It's pretty interesting that, earlier in the show, I said, hey, the clear favorite in the Big 12 is Houston, and the hottest team in the Big 12 is BYU. Do you want to repeat who I said is a sleeper in the Big 12? You remember?
No, you said
Kansas. Yes,
I said
Kansas. So
I
you
said,
can take that.
And I said, don't you find it funny that Kansas is a sleeper?
Hey, who? A sleeper?
Yeah, I knew the Manuch would react.
Hey, tomorrow we'll be joined by Kyle Vandenbosch. We'll talk about this new rush in, that being one Josh Sweat. We'll talk a little GCU basketball with their play-by-play voice, Michael Potter. Kyle Dodd will join us from Kansas City, Sun Devil color analyst. And then Bobby Mack will join us to talk about some of the trades the Cardinals have been making.
If you missed anything, go to rockandmanuch.com. That's where all our bracket contests are up as well. Our schedule, I think we're at Venezia's on Wednesday, correct? And Chandler.
Correct.
And then Twin Peaks and Wright Toyota the rest of the week. But we know you have choices. We appreciate you hanging out with us for a part of your day. We appreciate you hanging in. And if you missed anything, like I said, rockandmanuch.com. So tomorrow we'll do it again, starting at 1 for Colin, for Jax, for Jimmy B, and Manuch. I'm Rock. Have a great night. Suns are coming up on our sister station 98.7, the flagship, next against Memphis.